Chapter 755. That's right. Looking at Lin Rei's comical expression, the emotionless system chuckled. But at this moment, Linley didn't care about whether he laughed or not. Instead, he focused all of his attention on the first batch of living beings. What is it? The 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig is one of the most miraculous races in the world. Only one will be born in the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig race every millions of years. Actually, I wasn't sure at first. However, the system has detected signs of activity from the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig tribe. So, do you want it or not? At this moment, the system directly placed the choices in front of Linley, allowing him to choose. It was exactly the same as the one it had given him before. To be honest, when the system mentioned the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig, Lin Rei's heart skipped a beat. Although he didn't know what it could be used for, it was the first batch of living creatures in the world. Just like Xiefeng and Pai Xiao, they were born from the world and fused with the Great Tao. Oh right, I forgot to tell you. While Linley was silent, the system seemed to have thought of something and added, the uniqueness of the 8 Treasures Exquisite Boar clan is that they are immune to all spells and are immune to all spells. Furthermore, their physical bodies are extremely powerful. Of course, that's not the most important thing. The 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig tribe is the most powerful and most sought-after ability. They are born with an affinity for heaven and earth treasures. To put it bluntly, the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig tribe is also known as the treasure hunting pig tribe. They specialize in finding extremely precious heaven and earth treasures. They don't care about ordinary heaven and earth treasures. Previously, Lin Rei was tempted. However, after hearing the system's explanation, he became impulsive. At this moment, he wanted nothing more than to flip the entire soaring sky mountain range upside down and capture the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig. Then, he would get him to help him search for godly medicines, godly souls, and various top-notch treasures. Although he didn't need some of them, he still had a sect to support. Lin Rei's catchphrase was, "I'm so poor." How about it? You have 2 choices. Do you want to capture it or not? Of course, I have to make it clear to you first. Lin Rei, who was originally very excited and impulsive, felt like a bucket of cold water had been poured over his head when he heard the system's prerequisites. His excitement and impulsiveness were instantly washed away. As far as he could remember, as long as the system said something like, but, it would not end well. If he didn't peel off a layer of his skin, then, the system wouldn't give up. When he heard the word prerequisites, Lin Rei was stunned. Haha, the system chuckled at Lin Rei's expression and didn't think too much about it. Then it explained, the prerequisites for your choice are that the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig is immune to magic and is eroded by magic. Moreover, their race's physical body is the strongest of the strongest, the King of Kings. If you want to capture it, you have to think of a way. Otherwise, you will end up with nothing. At this point, Linley was in a difficult position. Immunity to magic was already difficult enough for him. Next, it was the king of the physical body. Wasn't this telling him that unless a miracle happened, he wouldn't be able to capture the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig? At this moment, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. Now, he could only wait and couldn't hang on to the beast. This feeling made Lin Rei want to die. All right, you can leave now. This is what I called you for. When Lin Rei heard the system's words, he wanted to say something, but before he could open his mouth, he found himself out of the system space and returned to his body. Sigh. Sighing, Lin Rei's face was filled with melancholy. He didn't know how to capture the 8 Treasures Exquisite Pig since he couldn't use magic or his physical body. To Linley, this was the most difficult problem of all. Bam! Bam! A sudden loud noise pulled Lin Rei back to reality from his silence. Raising his head, he saw that not far away, 2 demonic beasts the size of small mountains had appeared. In the air, the evil phoenix was controlling them with spells. Seeing this, Linley couldn't help but laugh. Finally, there was something he wanted to do. Lin Rei turned around and said to the 2 who were recovering from their exhaustion. All right, wake up. Your opponents are here. It's up to you now. Phew, hearing Linley's call, the 2 of them woke up from their meditations. Raising their heads, they saw the 2 enormous beasts, and the expressions on their faces instantly turned solemn. Looking at their solemn expressions, Lin Rei smiled. 2 Grand Perfection God Emperor demonic beasts. Although they aren't very strong, They're already your limit. I believe you'll be able to kill them. Oh right. You can use all your strength, including talismans, arrays, pills, deity weapons, and all kinds of external strength. As long as one of you can kill them first, the body refinement technique will be yours. The moment he said this, the two became even more solemn. They were clear of their cultivation. And now, they were facing Grand Perfection God Emperor demonic beasts. This made them feel as if they were courting death. So, at this moment the two didn't speak anymore. They didn't retreat. Two figures flashed past each other. Their speed was so fast that Lin Rei couldn't help but nod in admiration. All right, I'll leave them to you. At this moment, Xueqi, who was controlling the two demonic beasts, saw the two of them. She immediately retracted her aura and cultivation and said to them. After that, her body flashed and disappeared. When she reappeared, she was already beside Lin Rei. Do you really think they can kill these two Grand Perfection God Emperor demonic beasts? You should know that they aren't you or me. They are just ordinary alchemy disciples. Although you've trained them for a period of time, Xueqi looked at Lin Rei with concern and said, Oh, did I hear wrongly? The incomparably powerful Lord Xueqi actually knows how to care for others? Lin Rei teased. You humph. Seeing Lin Rei teasing her, Xueqi rolled her eyes at him. She then snorted and didn't speak anymore. Hee hee. After seeing Xueqi's silence, Lin Rei turned to the two of them. At this moment, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with worry. He was also very worried about the two of them. However, if he didn't use this method, it would be impossible for them to raise their cultivation quickly. Everything he did was for the good of the two of them. Even if his son was here, he would do the same. Pang, pang. At this moment, the sky trembled and rumbled. The light of battle flashed in the surrounding 50 kilometers. Ah, seems like they are fine. Linli, who had been observing the battle between Xueqi and Chu Li, saw them executing all sorts of combat techniques and spells with ease in front of the Grand Perfection God Emperor demonic beasts. There was no danger to their lives at all. At this moment, Linli's face relaxed. His anxious heart finally calmed down. He wasn't worried about the two of them, but the matter of the 8 treasures exquisite pig came. Looking at Xueqi, Lin Rei raised his eyebrows. His eyes were filled with surprise. Lady Xueqi. Hearing this strange cry, Xueqi was speechless, but she still turned to Lin Rei and asked, What's the matter? Hee hee. With a serious expression, he began to talk about the 8 treasures exquisite pig. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't hide anything from the jade-faced Rakshasa. He generously allowed her to hear everything clearly. A few minutes later, what? 8 treasures exquisite pig? Xueqi was shocked. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. That's impossible. How could such a thing still be alive? I remember that they were all wiped out during the first Great Tribulation. No, there are indeed traces of the 8 treasures exquisite pig here. The information is accurate. There is no luck. He believed in the system. He believed that the 8 treasures exquisite pig was here. Are you sure? Looking at how confident Lin Rei was, Xueqi couldn't help but confirm. This matter had to be clarified because it was very important. One had to know that the benefits of obtaining the 8 treasures exquisite pig were unimaginable. With the 8 treasures exquisite pig, it would only be a matter of time before they established a sect in the Holy World. As for cultivation resources, it would be a piece of cake for those who possessed the 8 treasures exquisite pig. Yes, I'm sure and certain that the 8 treasures exquisite pig is here. But here comes the problem. How do we capture it? It is immune to magic and has a dominating physical body. Yes. The 8 treasures exquisite pig was a terrifying race in the prehistoric era. If it weren't for the first Great Tribulation, perhaps they would have become the #1 living creature. At this moment, Xueqi wasn't exaggerating at all. If they couldn't become the #1 living creature by relying on their race's insane constitution and abilities, then it would be an irritable heavenly item. The heavens must be blind. While the two of them were thinking about how to capture the 8 treasures exquisite pig, Xueqi's eyes glinted as though she had thought of something. Why? You've thought of something? Lin Rei asked anxiously. Heh. Looking at Lin Rei's anxious expression, Xueqi burst into laughter. Lin Rei was speechless at Xueqi. But in order to obtain the 8 treasures exquisite pig, Lin Rei hid his expression. Hurry up and say it, Madam Xueqi. Holy shit! Seeing Linley's despicable appearance, the demonic phoenix was stunned and astonished. This was the first time she had seen this side of Linley after such a long time. Alright then. Actually, capturing the 8 treasures exquisite pig isn't that troublesome. Oh. Chapter 756. Lin Ray perked up when he heard that there was a way to capture the 8 treasures exquisite pig. Quick, tell me about it. Actually, the method is very simple. The 8 treasures exquisite pig clan is famous for finding treasures. Therefore, if you want to capture them, you have to use treasures to entice them. The evil phoenix replied. Then, he slowly explained the method he had thought of. Actually, the method is very simple. Use treasures? Although this idea was ingenious, he didn't have many treasures. How would he know what grade of treasure the 8 treasures exquisite pig liked? Moreover, they didn't even know what grade they were at now. Seeing Linley's hesitation, the demonic phoenix, who understood him very well, immediately guessed what he was thinking. She couldn't help but feel disdain towards him. Tisk. TSK. TSK. How can a sect leader be so stingy? I really despise you. With that, evil phoenix couldn't help but roll his eyes at Yi Zichen. Haha. Lin Ray smiled awkwardly when he saw the look in Xie Feng's eyes. Then he fell into deep thought. He was thinking about what he could use to lure the 8 treasures exquisite pig out. After all, it wouldn't do if the treasure was good or bad. He had to find something that was similar and wouldn't feel the pinch even if he lost it. PFFF. Sudden laughter rang in Lin Ray's mind. Lin Ray didn't need to guess to know who it was. Hearing the laughter, Lin Ray's face darkened. What are you laughing at? The person who laughed was none other than the system that was embedded in him. Upon hearing Lin Ray's question, the system replied, What do you want me to say? Isn't it easy to find a treasure that is similar? Lin Ray raised his brows. Since the system had said so, he would stick to it. He knew what treasure was most suitable. Thinking of this, Lin Ray asked shamelessly, Hurry up and tell me what I have that the 8 treasures exquisite pig is interested in. Think about it. Back then, when we were in the Divine Realm's Divine Sect, didn't we obtain a baleful blood pearl from that pool? Do you still remember? Blood fiend pearl? Listening to the system's words, Lin Ray sank into his memories. After all, so many years had passed and he had obtained many things over the years. How could he still remember so clearly? After a few minutes, Lin Ray's eyes lit up and a smile appeared on his face. Yeah. He remembered that he had obtained a pearl from a pond when he was fleeing into a secret realm. He had originally planned to refine a top-grade blood fiend divine artifact, but later, too many things had happened, and the system had issued many missions, so he had forgotten about it. Now that he thought about it, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. That thing was really a treasure, especially the baleful blood energy on it. Alright, you picked it up anyway. Besides, it's useless to you. It doesn't matter whether you use it or not. Rather than leaving it there, why not exchange it for a pig that can search for treasures? This kind of business, it's worth it. That's true. At this moment, Lin Ray couldn't help but be a little impressed. You actually helped him remember something that even he had forgotten. After saying that, he thought about the place where he had placed the blood fiend pearl. After thinking about it, he took it out from his storage ring. Boom! Suddenly, a blood-red bead with a faint smell of blood appeared in his empty hand. The baleful blood energy on it fluctuated. The moment the pearl appeared, a terrifying baleful blood energy soared into the sky, shaking the 9 heavens and giving people a soul-stirring feeling. Even Xie Feng and the jade-faced Rakshasa couldn't help but be shocked when they felt the sudden appearance of the baleful blood energy. The blood fiend pearl was formed by the condensation of pure baleful blood energy. Moreover, it was a top-grade tool for refining top-grade divine artifacts, so its power could be imagined. At this moment, Xie Feng's shocked gaze fell on the pearl in Lin Ray's hand, and her face turned ugly. Boy, how did you get such an evil thing? Yeah. This thing is formed by the condensation of pure baleful blood energy. It can only be formed by killing a lot of people. Don't tell me you. WH. What are you thinking about? Looking at their strange gazes, Lin Ray hurriedly interrupted them and explained. After all, no one wanted to be labeled as a demon who killed people like scything flax. It's like this. I got this blood fiend pearl from a pool. You don't say. The bottom of the pool was filled with white bones, and the number was shocking. Even I couldn't help but feel numb when I saw it. Let me tell you, those two at that time were simply frightening. On this point, Linley wasn't trying to scare people at all. When he had first seen the white bones at the bottom of the lake, his entire body had been frozen in place, and he had been extremely shocked. After hearing Lin Rei's explanation, the two women's expressions became much better. With their powerful cultivation, they could already see the clues of the pearl, which was why the incident just now happened. Heh! Looking at their relaxed expressions, Lin Rei smiled in his heart. Then he said to Xiefeng, "Tell me, is this thing of mine okay?" "This thing?" Xiefeng pointed at the blood fiend pearl and asked hesitantly. "Yes, that's it. Nothing else. I'm very poor. It's not like you don't know." With that, Lin Rei grabbed his sleeve and pretended to wipe his tears, looking very pitiful. The current Lin Rei was completely different from before. However, she liked the current Lin Rei very much. Enough! With that, Xiefeng took the blood fiend pearl from Lin Rei's hand and placed it in front of her eyes. "Although this thing is evil, I have to say that it is indeed a treasure." "Nonsense!" Lin Rei rolled his eyes at her. "This thing is good stuff. I originally planned to refine a supreme-grade divine artifact or elixir. Unfortunately, for the 8 treasures exquisite pig, I can only reluctantly give it up." With that, Lin Rei clutched his chest and looked as if his heart was being torn apart. It looked very funny. TSK. Who would believe that? Lin Rei's words could only fool a 3-year-old child. After working with him for so long, Xiefeng knew very well what he had. Just now, any item he took out was enough to make the 7 sects fight endlessly for it. They could even go to war and fight to the death. Therefore, when Lin Rei said that he was very poor, Xiefeng only had 2 words in her heart to express it. "Haha. Believe it or not, it's up to you." After being seen through by Xiefeng, Lin Rei quickly turned his face away and stopped talking. Bang! A woo! Just as the two of them were silent on the other side, the test between Xueqi and Yun Kai came to an end. The miserable roar attracted the attention of Lin Rei, Xiefeng, and jade-faced Rakshasa. At this moment, the 3 of them turned around and looked at the battle between Xueqi and Yun Kai in the distance. At Xueqi's side. At this moment, Xueqi was resolute. She used her water cloud sword technique to the extreme. The sword aura that filled the sky were like thousands of swimming dragons as they swam around the huge bodies of the monstrous beasts. Wherever the sword aura passed, the monstrous beasts would suffer the consequences of being cut open. Fresh blood flowed out from the wounds like a small stream. The scene was very bloody. However, the blood of a grand perfection god emperor monster was a great nourishment. Even the trees were an exception. The blood of the monster splattered on the trees. It could be seen that the trees were rapidly absorbing the blood. Regarding this, Linley was certain that before long, they would all develop intelligence and become demonic beasts. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei revealed a smile. His eyes were filled with joy and admiration. He wasn't the only one. Even the evil phoenix and the jade-faced Rakshasa felt the same. One had to know that cultivators who could challenge cultivators above their level were the elites of their sections. Moreover, the 2 of them were fighting against demonic beasts. This made them even more powerful. Ordinary Grand Perfection God Emperor monsters, even Grand Perfection God Emperor cultivators, would not dare to provoke such a powerful monster. Of course it would be easier if there were 2 or 3 of them. Looking at the other side, Yun Kai's results were even more outstanding. After all, during this period of time, Linley had been paying close attention to her cultivation and battle prowess. As for Xueqi, Linley had asked him to concoct pills. Thus, prior to this, he had already considered who would emerge victorious. Looks like there's no suspense on Yun Kai's side. The outcome will be revealed soon. That's right. The one called Yun Kai has a strong cultivation base and exquisite battle techniques. Moreover, she has a lot of battle experience. What's even more commendable is her pure cultivation base. Her spiritual energy is very pure. If it wasn't for that, I'm afraid. Listening to their analysis, Lin Rei chuckled. His face revealed a proud expression. Nonsense. Don't you know who taught her? If she was still weak, I would have jumped into the river to commit suicide. Lin Rei curled his lips. He could not help but underestimate her. Pang! Suddenly a loud sound rang out. Just as everyone had expected, there was movement on Yun Kai's side. She was currently standing in the air, completely unscathed. Although her face was pale and her clothes were a bit tattered, they were only minor injuries. She had overexerted herself, as well as the consequences of extreme stress. At this moment, in front of Yun Kai, dust was flying everywhere. Countless trees had been crushed by the monster's enormous body. As the dust settled, a huge demonic beast could be seen lying on the ground. Its entire body was riddled with holes, dripping with blood, and even its bones were exposed. It was a horrible sight to behold. Its entire body was covered with sword marks, fist marks, paw marks, and brush marks. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei was stunned and his hair stood on end. He was very glad that his wife was not such a violent person. Otherwise, he would have been miserable. Hee, now that the result is out, there's no need to keep this one alive. With a smile, Lin Rei looked at Xueqi, who was still bitterly fighting. His figure instantly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already beside Xueqi, who had been thrown into the battle. His aura was weak, and his fighting spirit was soaring to the heavens. His body was covered in wounds, and his clothes were torn and tattered by the demonic beasts. Looking at him now, Lin Li felt the same way. After all, he was just an alchemist, and he hadn't done anything else during this period of time. Looking at him, Lin Rei said, "All right, you can go down first. When you cultivate your Dan stage to the upper class of the Danzong sect, I will teach you an extremely powerful battle technique, Martial God's Test." With that, Lin Rei used his cultivation. Spiritual energy broke out of his body and turned into a giant hand. It gently grabbed Xueqi, refined him, and put him aside. Staring at the monster, he murmured, "Watch carefully. This is the battle technique I will teach you in the future, Martial God's Test." With that, a long spear with a heaven-piercing pressure appeared. The spear was completely black. On the shaft, 9 dragons were engraved. It looked very cool. At this moment, Lin Rei gave off the feeling of a war god descending. It was a feeling of a sovereign descending upon the world. This caused Xueqi to be stunned. "Old friend, I haven't seen you in a long time. Today, I will let you see some blood." Caressing the primal chaos dragon spear, Lin Rei said gently. In the next second, the originally gentle face of Lin Rei immediately turned as cold as frost. He gave off a feeling that anyone who dared to approach within a radius of 300 meters would die. Looking at the monster, Lin Rei shouted to Xueqi behind him, "Watch carefully. This is the Martial God's Test." With that, Lin Rei's spear was placed in front of his chest. His late-stage God-Emperor cultivation was pushed to the limit. Terrifying ripples of spiritual energy rushed out from his body. Martial God's Test, first style absolute kill. The spear was thrown out. Like a long dragon, it rushed in front of the monster in an instant. The momentum of the spear was enough to cause people to be stunned. However, an even more terrifying event occurred. The space around the demon beast started to warp when he utilized the first martial god test. In the end, due to the warping of space, the demon beast's body started to be torn apart bit by bit. The profundity of the martial god's test lay in the word space. Rather than saying that it was a battle technique, it would be better to say that it was a disguised form of space magic. It was just that it was revealed through spear techniques. The space became more and more distorted. After the monster's body was torn apart by the distortion of space, Lin Rei withdrew his cultivation and placed the spear on his back. Dong! With a loud sound, the martial god's test disappeared. The monster that was torn apart fell from the sky and smashed into the ground. Letting out a long sigh, he turned around and looked at Xueqi, who was staring at him with wide eyes. A hint of a smile appeared on Lin Li's face, and he said, "What do you think? How was my tactic?" That was simply too cool, too awesome, too cool." Hearing Lin Li's question, Xueqi hurriedly came back to her senses, and her face was full of excitement as she spoke. At this moment, he wished he could become a high-grade Grandmaster Alchemist. That way, he would be able to directly practice such a powerful combat technique. If that's the case, then cultivate well in the future. Redouble your efforts in cultivating. As long as you become a high-level Grandmaster Alchemist, I will impart the martial god test to you and refine an acquired supreme treasure for you. Chapter 757. At this moment, Xueqi had no other emotions other than excitement and agitation. His face was filled with happiness as he walked to Xueqi's side. He looked at her with a gentle expression and said, "Congratulations, you've received the young master's teachings. When I have time, I'll help you concoct some body-tempering pills so that you can increase your cultivation level even faster. I'll be relying on you to protect me from now on, Kai." Xueqi's words caused everyone present to roll their eyes in speechlessness. Even Xueqi was the same. She glared at Xueqi shyly and said, "Hey, can you not say that? You're a man after all and you're my fiancé. You're asking a weak woman like me to protect you. How can you say that?" "I'm already so flirtatious," Xueqi said and turned her face away as though she was unhappy. In the eyes of Lin Rei and the others, the two of them were undoubtedly flirting and showing off their love. Lin Rei brought Xueqi to Xuefeng's side and signaled her with his eyes. Then the two of them walked to the side. As for the nearby jade-faced Rakshasa, seeing what Linli and Bibi were doing, he didn't linger any longer, nor did he want to be a third wheel to the two of them. He immediately chased after the two of them. "Look at you!" Sensing that Lin Rei and the others had left, anyone with a discerning eye knew what was going on. He immediately picked up Xueqi and reprimanded him. Seeing that Lin Rei and the others had left and hearing Xueqi's words, Xueqi immediately understood and lowered his head as though he had done something wrong. "All right, hurry up and catch up to young master," Xueqi said to Xueqi with a helpless smile when she saw her fiancé's reaction. Then, she flew toward the direction where Lin Rei and the others had disappeared. "Hey, wait for me!" Xueqi shouted anxiously when he saw Xueqi leaving and immediately chased after her. Not far away, Lin Rei and Xuefeng, who had left, threw the scene with Xueqi and Xueqi to the back of their minds and began to discuss how to catch the 8 treasures exquisite pig. "Tell me, what do you think? After all, both of you are from the same prehistoric era." Lin Rei looked at Xuefeng and said. Xuefeng raised her eyebrows and put on a troubled expression as though she didn't know what to say. "Tsk. About this Seeing her like this, stammering, and with a troubled expression, Linli immediately frowned and gave up on making things difficult for her. All right. Just wait to catch the 8 treasures exquisite pig. As for how to lure it and where to lure it, leave it to me." Without waiting for the evil phoenix to reply, Linli sent a strand of his divine sense into the system and shouted towards the sky. "System, come out and tell me where to set up the ambush. The Sky Mountain range is so big, I can't just test it out. I have important things to do. I can't waste my time here." In an instant, there was no sound from the system. Lin Rei became anxious. He was supposed to go to the ancient corpse trove, but now that he had encountered such a situation, he would regret it if he didn't catch the 8 treasures exquisite pig. He did not want to miss out on this opportunity. Furthermore, the 8 treasures exquisite pig's specialty was its ability to hunt for treasures. Although the trip to the ancient corpse vault was dangerous, there should be plenty of treasures there. If he could obtain the 8 treasures exquisite pig's help, then, wouldn't that be like cheating? He could sweep through the entire ancient corpse trove. Moreover, if he could break through to the reverence level, it would be perfect. Of course, this was just an idea. It would be great if it could really be as good as he imagined. After listening for a few minutes, there was still no response from the system. Lin Rei shouted again, "System, hurry up and tell me. Time is precious and it's shameful to waste it." "You stinking brat. Look at your begging attitude. If it were someone else, I would have killed him," the system said angrily. Hearing this voice, Linli's heart was filled with excitement. He had thought that there would be no reply, just like before. Raising his head to look at the sky, his eyes were filled with anticipation as he said, "System, good system. Quickly tell me where to set up an ambush to capture the 8 treasures exquisite pig. This place is so big, so you will definitely have a way." Sigh. After Linli finished speaking, the system let out a sigh, then slowly said, "I really can't argue with you, kid. If I had known you would be like this, I wouldn't have been so stupid as to tell you about the 8 treasures exquisite pig." Hearing this, Lin Rei was delighted. I knew you wouldn't sit back and do nothing." "Che," the system laughed, and then fell silent. Linli did not continue to nag like he had before. Instead, he waited quietly for the system to wake up on its own, and for the system to tell him the location of the ambush. Time passed slowly. At this moment, Xiefeng looked at Lin Rei standing there in a daze.
His eyes were glazed over as if he had entered a hazy state.
She was already used to this. She had already seen it when she was at Nine Nether Sacred Mountain. She had also seen it a few times after that. She knew that Lin Rei was fine and that was enough. However, it was different for the jade-faced Rakshasa who had caught up. This was her first time meeting Lin Rei. She didn't know if Lin Rei was fine or not. Looking at Lin Rei, the jade-faced Rakshasa looked at Xiefeng and asked worriedly, "Senior, will Taoist Lin be fine?" Hearing this, Xiefeng turned to look at her and smiled. "It's fine. It's common. You don't have to worry too much." "That's right. Young master is a celestial being.
How can such a small problem trouble our young master?"
"That's right. If the jade-faced Rakshasa is worried, you don't have to worry either." At this moment, Xueqi and Yun Kai explained. However, Xueqi's words were laced with flattery. Xiefeng only smiled at Xueqi's words. She didn't show too much emotion. In the system, Lin Rei was still the same as before. However, his posture was different now. At first, he was standing and waiting. Later, he got tired and sat on the ground. In the end, he was lying on the ground and looking at the sky, waiting for the system's answer. After a few minutes, just as Linley was starting to get impatient, the system finally spoke up.
"Found it. That's great." The system's words were the answer he had been waiting for.
"System, please show me the way. I'll go out now." With that, without waiting for the system's response, the strand of consciousness in the system returned to the main body. Okay, in reality, after Lin Rei recovered, he couldn't help but shiver. Then, he looked at Xiefeng with a smile and said, "Found it. Let's go." At this moment, Xiefeng wasn't too surprised because she knew that Lin Rei would definitely find it. However, it was different for jade-faced Rakshasa. She didn't even know what was going on and Lin Rei had found it. Moreover, he hadn't left the same spot. This made her feel as if her brain had short-circuited. Lin Rei didn't notice jade-faced Rakshasa's situation. Of course, even if he did, Lin Rei wouldn't say anything. After all, she was the one who insisted on following him. He didn't ask her to. Walk straight ahead. There's always a path. You know it. Stop when it tells you to stop. At this moment, the system's voice was heard. "I've been waiting for you." Lin Rei smiled slightly. Then, he took a step forward and walked quickly. Although he was walking, he was moving at a speed of 1,000 meters with each step. With a single step, his figure had already appeared 1,000 meters away. Furthermore, this was the speed at which he had suppressed his cultivation. With his current cultivation, he could casually teleport tens of thousands of kilometers away. Behind him, Xiefeng and the others didn't dare to be slow and followed closely behind Lin Rei. They didn't want to fall behind. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. After traveling tens of thousands of kilometers, Lin Rei's expectant voice once again sounded out in his mind. Within these tens of thousands of kilometers, they encountered many demonic beasts. However, because time was of the essence, before Xueqi and Yun Kai could do anything, Lin Rei dealt with them all. He was so fast that Xueqi and Yun Kai were dumbfounded. Their hearts were filled with respect. "It's here," the system said calmly. Hearing the system notification, Linley immediately stopped in his tracks and looked around. At this moment, the sound of a stream could be heard from not too far away. Other than the dense forest of towering trees, there were only weeds. There was no path at all. Looking here, Lin Rei nodded and turned to Xiefeng and said, "Let's stay here." "What? Here?" The evil phoenix was startled. It scanned its surroundings, but there was nothing special about this place. The evil phoenix was puzzled. "Yes, this is the place. Your 8 treasures exquisite pig will take the bait." Haha. At this moment, Lin Rei couldn't help but laugh happily. In his mind, he was imagining the pleasure he would feel after catching the 8 treasures exquisite pig. Demonic Phoenix knew Linley very well. Seeing how smug and smirking Linley was right now, it didn't even need to think to know what he was thinking. "Tisk, stop dreaming. We haven't caught it yet. We'll talk about it when we catch it. The 8 treasures exquisite pig isn't something you can catch just because you want to.
Her words were like a basin of cold water that poured over Lin Rei's head. His smile froze and he rolled his eyes at Xuefeng. He didn't say anything else and went to a nearby tree to wait for Xuefeng to set up the trap for his 8 treasures exquisite pig. Seeing Lin Rei's actions, Xueqi and the others followed suit. They went to a tree and adjusted their cultivation and aura to an undetectable level. Seeing everyone's actions, Xuefeng didn't hesitate. Even at this moment, she was still a little doubtful if this was a suitable place for the 8 treasures exquisite pig. After all, the value of the 8 treasures exquisite pig was something that even a Phoenix clan leader like her coveted. With that thought, Xuefeng reached out and grabbed a blood-red bead that was filled with murderous intent appeared in her hand. Huff, huff, huff. In an instant, with the bead as the center, all life within a 5-meter radius disappeared. It was obliterated by the murderous aura. Hiss. The appearance of this scene caused both Xueqi and the jade-faced Rakshasa to be shocked. Just by looking at this phenomenon, one could see how terrifying the power and evil nature of this blood-fiend pearl was. However, to Xuefeng, it was as if she already knew this would happen. She wasn't surprised at all. She placed the bead on the ground and went to the same tree as Lin Rei. Lin Rei didn't care about this. At this moment, he couldn't care less about Xuefeng. His eyes were fixed on the bead of blood as he waited in anticipation for the arrival of the 8 treasures exquisite pig. Time passed by slowly. In the blink of an eye, a day had passed. During this day, there were some demonic beasts in the surroundings. However, when they felt the baleful blood chi and the baleful blood pearl, they were all shocked and immediately fled. Seeing this, Lin Rei chuckled and calmed down. At the very least, only the 8 treasures exquisite pig could do this. Just like that, another 3 days passed. In these few days, Lin Rei and the others who had been waiting for the 8 treasures exquisite pig were puzzled. They began to doubt whether this was the place where they could catch the Class 8 exquisite pig. Just as they were about to give up and search for a new location, the faint sound of a pig's cry suddenly sounded in Lin Rei's ears. Damn, don't tell me it's here. If Lin Rei could hear it, so could Xuefeng. TSK, I think it's possible. The two of them looked at each other but didn't dare to release their divine senses. After all, the 8 treasures exquisite pig was a divine creature. They didn't dare to release their divine senses casually. If they were alarmed, it would be even more difficult to find it. 5 pairs of eyes stared at the bead of blood with anticipation. They didn't dare to look away for even a moment. Slowly, the cries of the pig got closer and closer. Not long after, a pig twice the size of a soccer ball appeared. However, unlike an ordinary pig, this pig was blood-red and very beautiful. Looking at the pig, Lin Rei's eyelids twitched and his mouth twitched. He asked Xuefeng telepathically, This is the 8 treasures exquisite pig? Why does it look a little strange? Hearing Lin Rei's question, Xuefeng looked at Lin Rei with an I don't know expression. At this moment, Lin Rei was completely speechless. However, since it was already here, he couldn't let it go. With that thought, he prepared to attack. Young one, hurry up and come out. Do you think your grandpa pig can't sense you if you hide in the dark? Suddenly, Lin Rei, who was about to attack, frowned in shock when he heard that. He opened his mouth wide enough to swallow a few eggs. At this moment, there was no doubt that the blood-red pig was speaking in human language. Furthermore, it was calling him Grandpa Pig. Chapter 758. As expected, you really are a creature from the desolate era. I even suppressed my aura completely, but I still couldn't hide it from you. Linley, who was on the tree, said in shame. Lin Rei wasn't curious at all about the pig's ability to speak. After all, it was a creature from the desolate era. Even if it couldn't be more ordinary, as long as it reached the divine monarch realm, it would be able to speak. At the mid-divine emperor realm, it would be able to take human form. Having said that, Lin Rei flashed down from the tree and appeared in front of the pig. Looking at Linley, the 8 treasures exquisite pig was a little surprised. After all, it had been a long time since anyone had mentioned the 8 treasures exquisite pig. It had almost forgotten that it was a creature from the desolate era, a supreme creature of the 8 treasures exquisite dragon race. Looking at Linley, the 8 treasures exquisite boar grew interested. Kid, tell me, how did you know that I was here in the levitating mountain range? In addition, how did you know that I was from the 8 treasures exquisite boar race? Also, why did you use the baleful blood pearl to lure me out? With that,
The pig took a few steps back and became vigilant. It was proud of its immunity to magic and even more so of its powerful body. However, if the other party could do this, he must have a perfect plan. As the saying goes, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to be safe than sorry. Wow, what should I say? Hearing the 8 treasures exquisite boar's question, for a moment, Linley was worried. Tisk, cut the crap. Tell me one thing at a time. The 8 treasures exquisite pig retorted, not giving Linley any face at all. Lin Ray. However, even if the pig didn't say it, Lin Ray would have said it anyway. After all, he really couldn't do anything about the invincible constitution of the 8 treasures exquisite dragon race. It wasn't just him, the system couldn't do anything about Xueqi either. The existence of the 8 treasures exquisite dragon race was the loophole of this world. It could be said that they were born with a cheat. TSK, actually, I didn't know you were here either. However, I once read a travel book that mentioned the activity of your 8 treasures exquisite dragon pig. As for how I found out about your race, it goes without saying. I also learned about it from the travel book. At this point, Linley listened a bit longer, because he was afraid that if he asked the final question, the 8 treasures exquisite pig would immediately leave. By then, he would have lost the pearl of baleful blood for nothing. In the end, both the woman and the money would be lost. The gains didn't make up for the losses. Linley didn't really want to continue this losing business. Why aren't you talking? What about the last question? The pig urged. Oh. Looking at the pig, Lin Ray said the last question. It's like this. I really admire the abilities of your race, so I want you to become a guest elder of the Xuanzong Sect. At this point, Lin Ray glanced at the pig's expression. After seeing that there was no change in his expression, he said the rest of his words. Well, we're about to head to the ancient corpse vault. There are many natural treasures there, so I want you to help us. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, as soon as Linley finished speaking, an arrogant and unbridled laugh came from the 8 treasures exquisite pig's mouth. Its eyes were filled with disdain, as if to say, "What does your business have to do with me?" Hearing the laughter, Lin Ray was speechless. F***CK. Can you do it? Didn't we just ask you to follow us? Look at you. Just as Linley was speechless, Evil Phoenix, who had been hiding in the tree, couldn't help but run down to Linley's side. Looking at the 8 treasures exquisite pig, it said, Phoenix race? Hearing the Evil Phoenix's words, the 8 treasures exquisite pig raised its head. When it saw the Evil Phoenix, its eyes immediately widened in shock. Why is your Phoenix race here? Didn't they go extinct after the Great War? Why? The pig was so shocked that it couldn't control itself. It didn't expect to see an overlord of the Chaos Era here. No, she was one of the overlords of the first calamity of the Chaos Era. Are you stupid? I'm the patriarch of the Phoenix race. Actually, the heaven and earth calamity can kill me. Xueqi boasted. Lin Ray was speechless. After hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Ray rolled his eyes in disdain. Faced with Linley's expression, the demonic phoenix glared angrily at him, then hurriedly turned its head to look at the 8 treasures exquisite pig. I say, you're an overlord of the Chaos Era. Now that you're in this state, don't you think you're letting your ancestors down? After such a long time, you actually managed to cultivate to the God Emperor realm. Look at you. I'm embarrassed to say that you're the descendant of an ancient creature. How embarrassing. The evil phoenix was filled with disdain and ridicule. F***CK. Hearing the evil phoenix's words, the 8 treasures exquisite pig grew unwilling. Its expression turned cold, and it revealed a helpless expression. Sigh. You don't know this, but I've basically found all the treasures in the Soaring Sky Mountain range. Even if I didn't find all of them, with my current cultivation level, I don't think I've awakened any of my clan's techniques. Moreover, I'm the only one left in my clan. Tell me, shouldn't I cherish my life? I have to be careful in this place. I'm afraid that I'll wake up alone with the monsters. After hearing that, Xueqi laughed without restraint. 8 treasures exquisite pig was speechless. Of course, after hearing that, Lin Ray's eyes flashed. He knew that his chance had come. As he thought about it, he said to the 8 treasures exquisite pig, I can provide you with resources to help you increase your strength. Just like what I said before, You can become a guest elder of my Xian sect and help me search for treasures. I'll give you pills every day to help you increase your cultivation base and body refinement pills. Of course, if my alchemy skills increase, I'll help you solve all sorts of problems that you can't solve. What do you say?" At that moment, Lin Rei had completely thrown everything out. After all, this was the 8 treasures exquisite pig. He didn't want to miss out on this opportunity. He couldn't afford to miss it. Of course, he knew that the 8 treasures exquisite pig wouldn't believe him. Therefore, he took out the 9 revolutions mixed essence pill and placed it in front of the pig for him to admire. "How is it? Is this enough to move you? As long as you agree, I'll give you this every day, just like Xuefeng." With that, Lin Rei looked at Xuefeng with pleading eyes. Yes, I'll have pills every day to increase my cultivation level and strengthen it." With that, Xuefeng bent down and reached out to take the pill from Lin Rei's hand. Then, under everyone's watchful eyes, she popped the pill into her mouth. And then, a satisfied smile appeared on his face. He turned to look at Linley as though saying, "This is what you wanted me to say." Linley's forehead was covered with sweat when he saw the evil phoenix's gaze. He was filled with helplessness. However, as long as it was effective and the 8 treasures exquisite pig agreed to his request, he was willing to pay more than 10 of these pills. Of course, he had to have the ingredients to refine the 9 revolutions mixed essence pill. Otherwise, there was nothing to talk about. To say this, looking at the pill, the 8 treasures exquisite pig's heart burned. As a treasure-hunting pig, he naturally knew how precious this pill was. Furthermore, he sensed a special temptation from the pill. The temptation and familiarity came from the depths of his soul, which made him feel conflicted. He wanted to agree, but, at this moment, Lin Rei, Xuefeng, and Xueqi on the tree fixed their gazes on the 8 treasures exquisite pig. They were waiting for an answer. They were waiting for the 8 treasures exquisite pig to say "I agree." Time passed slowly. Lin Rei and the rest weren't in a hurry. "I'm not afraid of trouble. After all, this is a treasure in front of me." In ancient times, there was a saying that someone would visit Zhuge 3 times in a thatched cottage. Today, Linley was quietly waiting for a pig to agree. During this process, in order to get the 8 treasures exquisite pig to agree, Linley endured his heartache and once more took out a few more mixed energy pills of the 9 revolutions, then gave them to the evil phoenix for her to consume. This was to entice the 8 treasures exquisite pig to agree. Lin Rei didn't care about the price. In the blink of an eye, a day passed. Everyone waited quietly for the 8 treasures exquisite pig's reply. During the process, Lin Rei didn't even dare to blink. "I agree. I will be the guest elder of your sect and help you search for treasures." The 8 treasures exquisite pig's voice broke the silence. "What? You agree?" Lin Rei was shocked. However, in order to prove that he wasn't hallucinating, he quickly asked again. "Yes, I agree. However, you have to do as you said. Give me the pills and serve me well." The 8 treasures exquisite pig bent over and sat on the ground as though he was the boss. "All right, whatever you say." Lin Rei agreed to the 8 treasures exquisite pig's request without hesitation. After all, with the pig around, there was no need to worry about treasures. After saying that, Linley took out a 9 revolutions mixed yuan pill from his storage ring and handed it to the 8 treasures exquisite pig, fulfilling his earlier request. Hee. Looking at the pill, the 8 treasures exquisite pig chuckled. It stuck out its tongue and swallowed the pill. Delicious. As expected of a 9 revolutions mixed essence pill. At this moment, the 8 treasures exquisite pig's face revealed a smile that made everyone want to beat him up. Lin Rei didn't turn around. He looked at Xueqi on the tree behind him and said, "Go and hunt a late-stage Emperor Realm beast. We'll leave after we're done eating. Yes, your subordinate obeys." Xueqi, upon hearing Linley's order, acknowledged it, and then left with a flash. Phew! Linley's entire body relaxed. Letting out a long breath, he sat down on the ground. Looking at the 8 treasures exquisite pig, he asked curiously, "What's your name? You can't keep calling me 8 treasures exquisite pig, right?" That's what I thought too." Xuefeng chimed in after hearing Lin Rei's words. The 8 treasures exquisite pig nodded and said, "My name is 8 treasures. I'm over 3,600 years old this year. According to the Eldritch era, I should still be a child."
What? A child? Lin Rei was stunned. 3,600 years old? That's still considered a child to him. That's right. During the Eldritch era, anyone would go into seclusion for 8 to 10,000 years. Some would even go into seclusion for 10,000 years. Take the Pai Xiu for example. Other than eating, all they do is sleep. Once they're full, they won't wake up for millions of years. However, there's one good thing about them. They can eat and sleep and increase their cultivation. Xueqi said slowly. Oh, that's true. As he spoke, Linley scratched his head awkwardly. However, when he thought of the Pishio, Linley's mind moved and he instantly released it from the system. Boom. A loud sound rang out, accompanied by the sound of dust and the shattering of trees. Awoo! 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 At that moment, the appearance of the Pishio caused a desolate aura to spread out from its body. At that moment, the roars of beasts within a radius of 50 kilometers could be heard. From their voices, it could be heard that they were trembling in fear. F***CK. It's the Pishio. Eighth Baby said in shock. Eighth Baby's heart was hit hard. He didn't expect that there would be a creature from the Eldritch era beside this human. Moreover, it's a high-level existence. The Eldritch clan? Eighth Baby stared at the Pishio. At the same time, the Pishio also noticed Eighth Baby. Suddenly, its eyes widened in surprise. That's right. Grandpa Pig is Eighth Baby of the Eldritch clan. Eighth Baby said proudly after hearing the Pishio's words. It's very interesting. Originally, the Eldritch clan was exterminated during the Eldritch era. I didn't expect it to survive until now. It's not simple. Eighth Baby's praise was completely different from what he thought. Originally, Eighth Baby thought that the Pishio would be surprised and praise it. He didn't expect it to be so indifferent. Regarding this, the Pishio did not pay attention to the 8 treasures. Instead, his gaze fell on Linley. With a slightly imploring gaze he said, I've told you the news. Next time when you call me out, can you take care of me first so that I can be mentally prepared? Look at the mess you've made here. Then, the Pishio's huge body began to thin and weak with dissatisfaction. Finally, to Lin Rei's surprise, the Pishio shrank its body to the same size as Eighth Baby. At this moment, the Pishio didn't have the air of a king. Instead, it looked a lot cuter. Little guy, I heard that your clan has the ability to find heavenly treasures. Take me to find them. Chapter 759. Lin Rei was speechless. That's right, Eighth Baby. Hurry up and bring us to see if there are any heavenly treasures. Since we're heading to the ancient corpse trove, let's take a look along the way. Who knows, we might be able to find something good. Xueqi smiled. Yes, I agree. Jade-faced Rakshasa also said, her face full of excitement. Seeing how excited they were, a smile appeared on Linley's face. He said calmly, all right, let's leave after we finish eating. Okay, I want to see the abilities of the 8 treasures exquisite dragon tribe and see if they're as amazing as the legends say. Everyone agreed with this idea. They didn't care whether Eighth Bao agreed or not. They didn't even give it a chance to speak. Eighth Baby was very helpless about this, but it had promised Lin Rei before, so it didn't say anything. It turned around and began to play with the blood pearl. A short while later, Xueqi returned, bringing with her an enormous divine-level monstrous beast. For the sake of rewarding the 8 treasures, Linley personally took action, using his mirage bloodfire and various precious pills. Soon, the monstrous beast was completely cooked. Everyone divided the food and began to eat. Among them, the Pishio took the lead, followed by the 8 treasures, the evil phoenix, and the others. Everyone ate happily. This was especially true for Eighth Baby. At this moment, he was the happiest. His entire pig mouth was covered in golden oil, and his face was filled with a smile of enjoyment. In the past, it wouldn't have been able to eat such things. After all, it was in the form of a pig and couldn't appear in front of humans, but now, there was someone roasting meat for it. At this moment, it felt that it was worth it to join Lin Rei. Not only could it eat treasures, but it could also consume spirit medicines. It didn't have to worry about its safety, and it could taste things that it wanted to taste but didn't care about in the past. Looking at everyone's smiles, Lin Rei also smiled. After all, in the cruel world of cultivation, How many true friends could there be? 8 or 9 out of 10 of them did it for benefits, status, power, reputation, and wealth. Apart from those who truly appeared when their friends were in trouble, the rest could not escape from greed, anger, and infatuation. Lin Rei looked at the people in front of him. Of course, other than the jade-faced Rakshasa, he did not let his guard down. He did not treat her as a friend. After all, she had her own goals. The meal was quickly finished with everyone's enjoyment. It had to be said that the demonic beast roasted by Lin Rei was truly a delicacy of the mortal world. As the saying goes, this kind of meat should only exist in the heavens. It was rare to taste it in the mortal world. In particular, Lin Rei had added top-grade venerable grade pills into the roasted meat with seasoning. Only Lin Rei could use such a luxurious method. If this had happened to someone else, that person would have gone bankrupt long ago. Lin Rei touched the oil on his robe and looked at the satisfied smiles on everyone's faces. He asked, "Are you full?" "TSK, I have to say, Lin Rei, your roasted meat is simply too delicious. If only I had met you earlier. That way, I wouldn't have to eat those tasteless treasures that only increase my cultivation every day." At this moment, 8th Baobao's face was filled with disdain. Hearing 8th Baobao's words, everyone had the urge to go up and beat him up. One must know that every single one of them had risked their lives for the sake of obtaining cultivation resources. Yet now, such words had come from the mouth of a pig. This caused them to have the urge to kill themselves. "You bastard, you're still acting like you're the victim after getting such a good deal." At this moment, Xueqi couldn't help but retort. Okay. At this moment, looking at the strange atmosphere, Lin Rei quickly stepped forward and said, "Let's hurry up. There's still some distance before we reach the ancient corpse trove. Besides, there's still some time before the ancient corpse trove opens, so we still have some time to search for treasures." Saying that, Lin Rei looked at 8th Baobao with a scorching gaze and said, "Let's go, my little ancestor. Since you've eaten mine, let me see your treasure hunting skills." Yes, this is the right time." Hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone looked at 8th Baobao with the same gaze. Looking at the expectant and scorching gazes of the people, 8th Baobao quickly patted his chest and put on an "I'm awesome" look. His face was filled with pride. Today, I'll show you the skills of the 8 Treasures Exquisite clan. My treasure hunting skills." Then, under everyone's gaze, 8th Baobao lowered his head, and in the next moment, everyone was defeated. 8th Baobao lowered his head and began to sniff like a dog. "Lin Li. Yes, right? I'll take you to search for treasures." 8th Baobao lowered his head and sniffed while waving his front trotters at everyone. This scene made everyone's jaws drop. Their faces were filled with astonishment. At this moment, they thought that they were hallucinating and were unwilling to believe that the scene before them was real. Time passed slowly. At this moment, everyone felt as if time had slowed down while they were still in a daze. And Lin Rei, seeing 8th Baobao's reaction, regretted it even more and had the urge to turn back time and choose again. At this moment, Xueqi was the first to come back to her senses. Looking at 8th Baobao walking away, she couldn't help but growl, "Damn, it's playing. Damn it, what's going on? This. At this moment, under Xueqi's growl, the Pai Xiu also came back to his senses. Just like Xueqi, although he had never seen the treasure hunting skills of the 8 Treasures Exquisite clan, he never imagined that the 8 Treasures Exquisite pig in front of him would use his nose to sniff. Sigh. At this moment, Lin Rei came back to his senses. Hearing the two's words, the corners of his mouth twitched slightly and he looked helpless. What else can we do? Since we've trusted him and let him be the guest elder of our sect, we can't go back on our words. But now, I just hope that he can find some treasures so that my pills won't go to waste. Yeah, that's all we can do now. Yeah. At this moment, everyone agreed with Lin Rei's words. After all, there was no choice for them to regret now. The only choice was to continue following 8th Baobao. With that thought in mind, Lin Rei took a step forward and came behind 8th Baobao in an instant, walking side by side with him. Seeing Lin Li's actions, everyone let out a collective sigh, then followed him. Time slowly passed as Lin Rei followed 8th Baobao to search for treasures. In the blink of an eye, 15 days had passed. In the past 15 days, Zhu Baobao hadn't found a single decent treasure. What he found were all grasses that no one was interested in.
Even he himself was disgusted with them. Although there was a little bit of spiritual chi in them, 8th Baobao had found grass that was completely useless to them. At this time, the ancient corpse trove was about 100,000 miles away. At this moment, Lin Rei and the others arrived at the top of a mountain. Looking at the surrounding mountains and the green sea of trees, everyone looked listless as if they were very tired. Sigh. I say, 8th Baobao, can you do it or not? It's been more than 10 days. Other than finding some small things, what else can you do? At this moment, I'm even worried that you're a fake primitive creature. At this moment, looking at 8th Baobao walking in front, Lin Rei couldn't help but ask. In the past 10 days, he had wanted to ask many times, but in the end, he held back. But now if he didn't ask, he would suffocate to death. Yeah. Little guy, look at me. In order to find the heavenly treasure with you, look at me. I'm so tired that I'm about to collapse. At the side, the small and round Pichio said helplessly. Xueqi was speechless. Looking at the Pichio, Xueqi was speechless and helpless. Then, she rolled her eyes at him and let him experience it himself. Haha. 8th Baobao, who was now at the top of the mountain, heard the wails and dissatisfaction of the people behind him and suddenly laughed. Ha! Hearing 8th Baobao's laughter, everyone was puzzled. Turning around and looking at Lin Rei and the others, 8th Baobao said with a smile, that's enough. You just want the heavenly treasure, right? That's right. Can you tell me where it is? Evil Phoenix hurriedly asked. Everyone nodded heavily and locked their eyes on 8th Baobao, hoping that the news he brought was true. Looking at everyone's expectant eyes, 8th Baobao said, along the way, the reason why I didn't tell you about the existence of the heavenly treasure is because it's nothing. Because it's nothing but, 8th Baobao's, but caused everyone's imagination to run wild. Some thought of good things, some thought of bad things. Under everyone's gaze, 8th Baobao said without any hesitation, that's right. Today is different. Under our feet is a supreme-grade divine crystal mine. The mine is so big that I've never seen it before. What? Supreme-grade divine crystal? At this moment, everyone was shocked. In the divine world, spirit stones were no longer useful. However, there was a unique mineral in the divine world, and that was the divine crystal that 8th Baobao was talking about. Just like spirit stones in the immortal world, divine crystals were divided into low, medium, high, and supreme grade. This time, it was divided from small to large. Low-grade divine crystals had too many impurities, and the energy that could be absorbed from them was too little. On the other hand, supreme-grade divine crystals had no impurities at all. Supreme-grade divine crystals were only seen in the divine world. Supreme-grade divine crystals were very rare. This was something that everyone was well aware of. But now, 8th Baobao was telling Lin Rei that there was a supreme-grade divine crystal mine under their feet. Moreover, it was a huge one that even 8th Baobao had never seen before. As the saying went, poverty limits one's imagination. At this moment, everyone could not imagine how big the mine was under their feet. Hee. When 8th Treasure saw that everyone was looking at him suspiciously, he smiled faintly, and didn't get angry. After all, he and the 8 Treasure sprite folk had no idea how to find treasures. Looking at everyone's shocked and suspicious gazes, 8th Baobao turned around and ignored them. Then the smile in his eyes disappeared. In the next second, it was replaced with an incomparably sharp gaze. Be careful. 8th Baobao warned. Ha! Everyone did not understand what 8th Baobao was referring to. However, in the next moment everyone understood. Bam! Gotcha! In the next moment, 8th Baobao lifted his 2 front trotters and stomped on the mountain under his feet. Immediately, a rumbling sound, accompanied by the sound of shattering, entered everyone's ears. Rumble! Rumble! In the next moment, without waiting for everyone to react, the entire towering mountain started to crack under 8th Baobao's stomp. Then it started to shake. F***CK. Feeling the mountain shaking and collapsing, everyone came back to their senses. Without caring about anything else, they leaped into the sky and stood proudly in the air. Seeing the mountain slowly disintegrate under the 8 Treasure stomps, the crowd was shocked and their hearts were filled with shock. Even Xueqi would not be a match for 8th Baobao. Moreover, what shocked everyone even more was that when 8th Baobao attacked, no one noticed it at all.
They did not even feel any divine energy flowing through 8th Baobao's body. From this, they could deduce that 8th Baobao did not use any divine energy to stomp on the ground. He only used his powerful physical body. Not simple. Xuefeng exclaimed. Yes. I've long heard that the 8 Treasures exquisite dragon tribe has powerful physical bodies. I've never seen it before. Now that I've seen it, it really lives up to its reputation. Pai Xiu said. Hearing the words of the two, Linley's heart was filled with amazement. He even had the urge to charge forward and engage in a battle. Linley also cultivated his physical body. Just now, 8th Baby's stomp had caused the mountain to collapse. To Linley, this was something he could easily do. But now, he had not encountered a body as strong as 8th Baby's in a long time. The desire to fight that had been hidden in his heart was suddenly ignited. It's over. This guy. Xuefeng, who was standing next to Lin Rei, felt Lin Rei's desire to fight. She immediately looked helpless. She knew that 8th Baobao's move had moved Lin Rei. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Just as Linley's fighting spirit was about to erupt, a gust of wind suddenly rushed out from the crack in the mountain. However, unlike other gusts of wind, the gust of wind that blew out from the crack was accompanied by an extremely dense spiritual energy that shocked even Linley. At this moment, all thoughts of battle and the rising desire to do battle were thrown to the back of Linley's mind when he sensed the dense and pure spiritual energy around him. Sensing the spiritual energy pouring out of the crack, Lin Rei was convinced that 8th Baobao really was a member of the 8 Treasures exquisite dragon tribe. He was even more convinced of 8th Baobao's treasure hunting skills. The supreme grade god crystal mine is real. Chapter 760. As soon as Lin Rei said that, everyone present revealed happy and excited smiles. After all, they could improve their cultivation with the supreme grade divine crystals. Even Lin Rei was excited. After all, he was only a late-stage god emperor now, and the energy he needed to break through by one level was 10 to 20 times that of ordinary people. If he wanted to break through to the ultimate god realm, the energy he needed could be imagined. Although he saw the supreme grade divine crystals, Lin Rei was still slightly worried that these divine crystals would not be enough for him to break through to the ultimate god realm. Moreover, this divine crystal mine did not belong to him alone. There were also Xueqi, Yun Kai, Pai Xiu, Ba Bao, Xuefeng, and the independent jade-faced Rakshasa. Thinking of this, Lin Rei felt a pain in his heart. After all, this was the first time he saw so many supreme-grade divine crystals. With these divine crystals, I will be able to break through the shackles of the ultimate god realm and ascend to the saint realm. At that time, I will be able to roam freely in the universe. At this moment, the Pai Xiu whispered with an excited and arrogant smile. Hey you! I think you'll be able to find a large hole and sleep in it for 1,000,000 years. The evil phoenix did not give the Pai Xiu any face at all and directly retorted back at the evil phoenix. You! Hearing the evil phoenix's words, although the Pai Xiu was furious, he knew the evil phoenix's cultivation and strength. After saying you, he fell silent. Only his bell-sized eyes stared fiercely at Xuefeng. As if he could not beat her, he would stare her to death. Linley laughed mockingly at the two of them. However, Linley was already used to their behavior. After all, they were both living beings from the primordial era. Neither of them was willing to submit to the other. They both felt that their bloodlines were noble and inviolable. That's enough. Finally, Lin Rei couldn't take it anymore and spoke up to stop them. Looking at them, Linley had a smile on his face. Acting like a peacemaker, he tried to persuade them. I say, can the two of you stop quarreling for a moment? Can you let me have some peace and quiet for a moment? Besides, Pai Xiu, you too. Let's not talk about roaming first. Let's just talk about this mineral vein. With that, Lin Rei pointed at 8th Bao and said, 8th Bao was the one who found this mine. No matter what, he should get it first, right? Yes, that makes sense. At this moment, when she heard Lin Rei's words, Xuefeng hurriedly changed the topic. However, the blade on the tip of the spear had been smoothed out, and her tone was much gentler. TSK, green foxtail. Looking at Xuefeng's current state, Pai Xiu rolled its eyes. After muttering to itself, it didn't say anything else and retreated to the side. Looking at Lin Rei and the others and listening to their previous conversation, 8th Bao completely let go of his arrogance at this moment. He looked at Lin Rei and said,
Alright, I don't want these divine crystals. As long as you can give me some 9 revolution mixed yuan pills, it'll be fine. Moreover, these divine crystals are useless to me. Lin Rei was stunned when he heard 8th Bao's request. His heart ached for no other reason than the fact that he wanted to give more 9 revolution mixed yuan pills. The 9 revolution mixed yuan pills weren't ordinary pills. Every time he refined a cauldron of pills, he would have to put in a lot of effort. In addition, Linli had plenty of primal chaos energy to refine the 9 revolutions mixed yuan pill. But the other ingredients, such as the 9 heavens primal yang fruit and the 6 revolutions spirit cloud fruit, were all rare treasures of the god realm. Linli didn't have much left in his storage ring. Okay. Even so, Lin Rei still agreed. After all, this was the condition that he proposed to 8th Bao. Now that he thought about it, he really wanted to slap himself a few times. Alright, since that's the case, you guys can go ahead and mine. I'll stay here and you guys will be fine. Seeing that Lin Rei had agreed, 8th Bao walked to the side with a smile. He found a comfortable rock and laid down on it. He closed his charming little eyes and fell silent. Everyone was speechless when they saw 8th Bao's actions. However, they didn't say anything. After all, 8th Bao had found a top quality or vein. Xueqi, you and Yun Kai will be in a group of 2. I and Xiefeng will be in a group. As for the jade-faced Rakshasa, you and Pai Xiu will be in a group. Each of the 3 groups will go in a direction. As for the rest, we'll wait until the first group finishes digging. Then, Lin Rei looked at everyone and said in a deep voice, after we're done, we'll discuss how to distribute the divine crystals. Do you understand? Yes, I agree. Pai Xiu said. Yes, I agree. Xiefeng said. Agreed. Everyone hurriedly nodded, and a smile appeared on Linli's face. Alright, since everyone agrees, then. Just as everyone was about to start digging, Lin Rei suddenly stopped talking. Then, his eyes were filled with killing intent as he looked into the distance. His body instantly tensed up and entered battle mode. Chung! The sound of a gun rang in everyone's ears. At this moment, Lin Rei's primal chaos dragon spear naturally appeared in Lin Rei's hand. At this moment, Lin Rei fully released his late-stage God Emperor cultivation and circulated it to the extreme. At this moment, he was just short of activating his combat technique. Feeling Lin Rei's strange movements at this moment, coupled with his gloomy face and the killing intent in his eyes, everyone knew that trouble was coming. Although they didn't feel that someone was coming, everyone trusted Lin Rei's perception. Can you do it? I feel that person's cultivation is stronger than yours. Do you want to? Hearing Xiefeng's words, Lin Rei didn't wait for her to finish speaking and hurriedly stopped her. Although that person's cultivation is stronger than mine, I'm not someone to be trifled with. Saying that, Lin Rei's face revealed a ruthless expression. You all go down first. Leave that person to me. I'll deal with him. Without turning his head, he looked into the distance and pointed at the crack on the mountain peak. Alright. Demonic Phoenix had been about to say something, but when she saw the stubborn look on Linli's face, she knew that Linli had already made his decision. No matter what anyone said, it was useless. In the end, she could only nod in agreement. Let's go. Saying that, he looked at Lin Rei again and gave him a look to be careful. Then, he led Xueqi and the others and jumped into the crack. Come. It's been a long time since I've had a good battle. Don't let me down this time. At this moment, an unparalleled desire to do battle surged out of his body. Linli had been waiting for this moment for far too long. Wang, feeling Lin Rei's battle intent, the Chaos Dragon Spear trembled violently as if it was excited. Heh, I know you're excited. You'd better put on a good show later. Saying that, a small black dot appeared in the distance. The black dot moved faster and faster, and the black dot grew bigger and bigger. Finally, the shadow of a person appeared. At this moment, the young man who was flying suddenly felt an unparalleled battle intent. He immediately raised his head and saw a young man about the same age as him standing on top of a mountain with a long spear in his hand. Seeing that the young man was looking at him, the young man was stunned and puzzled. However, at this moment, a sense of danger surged in his heart and spread throughout his body. He hadn't felt this kind of danger in a long time. Sensing danger, the youngster summoned out his weapon just in case. A spear similar to Lin Li's appeared in the youngster's hand and he secretly circulated his cultivation base.
Heh! Seeing the young man's action, Lin Rei smiled and flew into the sky. Standing proudly in the air, he looked at the young man who was getting closer and closer to him.
Lin Rei said, "Quickly retreat. Hurry up and get out of here.
Otherwise, the spear in your father's hands will have no eyes."
At this moment, Lin Li's ruffian aura was completely exposed. Hearing this, the young man's face froze and he was unhappy.
However, he was also puzzled. He didn't understand why the young man in front of him, whom he had met by chance, would react in such a manner.
"I don't know why you want me to retreat. You're not going to retreat?"
Before the young man could finish his sentence, Lin Rei spoke in a forceful tone. Seeing that the young man in front of him had interrupted him, the young man felt aggrieved. However, he was still a young man and he was full of vigor.
When he heard the young man's words, his competitive spirit exploded and he couldn't control it. "I'm not going to retreat." Hearing this, Lin Rei didn't waste any more time.
He placed the long spear in front of his chest and a murderous aura burst out from his body.
Good. Seeing the young man acting like this, Lin Rei's expression was as cold as frost. He said coldly, "Since that's the case, let's not talk any more nonsense. Let's fight." That's exactly what I want. At this moment, a great battle was about to break out. The aura of the two had reached a certain point and was about to explode. Silent Thunder Spear Art, First Style, Thunder, Dragon Subduing Step, Instant. At this moment the two great combat techniques were used. Lin Rei's body disappeared from his original position. He brought along a majestic pressure and aura. In addition to the thunder force brought by the Silent Thunder Spear Art and Lin Rei's lightning-attributed spiritual roots, this attack could kill even a middle-stage god emperor. Although Lin Rei learned these two combat techniques later in the mortal world, Lin Rei had cultivated the profound meaning of these two combat techniques. They were comparable to the bombardment of deity-grade combat techniques. Profound meaning was the ultimate goal of a combat technique. Usually, every combat technique would have its own profound meaning. However, most people would only cultivate it to the great circle of perfection. Some people would study it hard and cultivate it to the true meaning. For people like Lin Rei, who could cultivate a profound meaning of a combat technique, it was already rare. Spear Art of 10,000 armies. Profound meaning. One spear breaks armies. At this moment, looking at Lin Rei's huge killing intent and murderous aura, the young man didn't care anymore. Immediately, he used the Spear Art of 10,000 armies and rushed toward Lin Rei. At this moment, the two of them looked like they were going to fight to the death. 8th Bao Bao, who was originally planning to sleep, suddenly became interested. His sleepiness gradually disappeared.
His two charming little eyes were wide open. Together with his pig-like appearance, he was very cute.
Pang! The two of them were like meteors. With a fleeting speed, they collided in an instant. Immediately, a terrifying shockwave spread out in all directions with the two of them as the center. Damn! What's going on? At this moment, 8th Baby, who had been watching the show, felt the terrifying shockwaves from the shockwaves, and its expression froze. It didn't even think about it before jumping into the crack. Before it left, it didn't forget to mutter something. Regarding this, the two of them didn't pay any attention to 8th Bao Bao. At this moment, the two of them collided. Neither of them was able to push the other back. They were evenly matched. Looking at the young man in front of him, Lin Rei was shocked. He knew his own strength. Although he didn't look at him first, now that they were fighting, Lin Rei couldn't help but be shocked by his cultivation and strength. At this moment, the young man looked at Lin Rei and was also shocked. I really didn't expect to meet such a strong opponent this time. He's much stronger than those ants I've met before. I just don't know who is stronger between the two of us. Star Finger, Profound, Star-Breaking Finger. Just as the two of them were trying to figure out each other's strength, Lin Li suddenly regained his senses. One of his hands shot out, and instantly, the astral finger was executed.
Lin Li's two fingers instantly turned blood red, and like a blood-red spear, he viciously stabbed towards the heart of the young man.
Flowing Light Fist Profound. Feeling the strong killing intent, the young man didn't want to be outdone. He sent out a hand. His palm turned into a fist and the Flowing Light Fist Profound was instantly activated. He attacked Lin Rei's sword finger. Pung, whoosh, whoosh. The two of them collided again. This time, the two of them didn't confront each other like before. Instead, they both retreated a dozen steps. Dang dang dang, dang dang dang. Feeling his body retreating, Lin Rei quickly used his cultivation to forcefully stop his body from retreating. Humph! Stopping his body, Lin Rei looked at the young man who stopped and looked at him. This kind of carefree feeling didn't wash away at all. Phew, I haven't fought like this for a long time. I didn't expect this guy to have cultivated profound. He's really not simple. Humph. What sort of power is this, for it to be able to raise such a talent? Looking at him, Lin Li's heart was filled with compassion, and he wanted to take him under his wing. Looking at him, Lin Rei said, I admire you. Your strength is the strongest I've seen in the God realm so far. However, I don't know if you can take this move of mine. Hearing this, the young man's interest was piqued. His body involuntarily went into defense. Martial God Stratagem. First Space Ultimate Strike. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't waste any time talking. He directly used his most powerful battle technique, Martial God Stratagem, First Space Ultimate Strike. Lin Rei instantly threw out the long spear. At this moment, the Martial God Stratagem was activated. Lin Rei's body mysteriously disappeared from the spot. Seeing Lin Li's figure disappear, the man's eyebrows furrowed together, and a solemn expression appeared on his face. Chapter 761. After the battle, the two of them shared their feelings and reported their names. Where did he go? In the instant that Lin Li disappeared, the man's heart was filled with a sense of danger. This was a feeling he had only ever felt from his own master. At this moment, the man had to be careful. He did not want to be defeated here. After all, he was a young man full of vigor. It was inevitable for him to be competitive. Now that he had met a young man of his age, he did not have to think about losing. Emperor's eyes, open. Suddenly, the young man shouted explosively. His originally clear eyes suddenly changed, becoming extremely terrifying. A monarch's chi rushed out and swept through the surroundings. The Emperor's eyes was one of the most powerful bloodlines in the world. His eyes could emit a majestic aura and break through all illusions. But now, the young man who had activated the Emperor's eyes frowned even more. He thought that he could find Lin Rei by using his eye technique. But now he was wrong. He was very wrong. At this moment, not only did he not find Lin Rei's disappearance, but the sense of danger became even stronger. It was as if a long spear would rush out from the surroundings and pin him in the air. At this moment, he, who had never felt death, seemed to see the beautiful death god smiling and waving at him. Puffed! Suddenly, the young man was on high alert. A long spear rushed from behind and a strong murderous aura rushed towards his back. Space strangulation. Lin Rei's voice resounded. At this moment, the space within 100 meters was under the control of Lin Rei's martial god. It began to compress the space. During the prehistoric era, there was a legend that said time was king and space was emperor. Those who had one of them could dominate the prehistoric era. Right now, Lin Li's battle technique allowed him to control space. Although it was only a small area, this still caused the young man to be shocked. The whole process did not take more than 5 breaths. The young man was a little confused by the speed. He only sensed Lin Rei's long spear after it arrived. However, it was already too late. Even so, the young man still used all his strength to dodge to the side. Although the young man narrowly dodged the attack, his arm was still cut open by the sudden attack of the long spear. Blood flowed out as if it didn't cost money. Phew, that was close. At the side, the young man who had dodged the attack felt a lingering fear in his heart. Looking at the wound on his arm, he felt his heart palpitate. If he had been a breath later, just a breath later, his life would have been completely lost here. At the same time, the young man was starting to re-evaluate Lin Rei. He knew that the young man before him was no ordinary person. Just the battle technique that he had used earlier had already surpassed the cultivation techniques of the sects in the firmament. Seeing the item that Lin Rei tossed to him, Jie Yong didn't even think about it and directly caught it. His intuition told him that the person before him wasn't an evil person. Sure enough, after receiving the medicinal pellet and hearing Lin Rei's words, Jie Yong came to a realization. Then, he revealed a slight smile and said, "There, this is great." After saying that, Jaeyong didn't even think about it and directly swallowed the 9 Revolution Water Cloud Pellet. The 9 Revolution Water Cloud Pellet was a top-quality venerable level medicinal pellet. It was classified as a medicinal pellet for healing injuries. Refining it was a rare heavenly treasure. Lin Rei was sure that this 9 Revolution Water Cloud Pellet of his would make even a Dao Fruit Sage Realm cultivator jealous. The medicinal pellet melted in his mouth. After swallowing the 9 Revolution Water Cloud Pellet, Jaeyong only felt a fragrance emerge from his abdomen. Waves of gentle medicinal properties instantly spread throughout his body. As the saying goes, the fragrance lingers in the mouth and teeth, and the aftertaste is endless. Seeing the wound on his arm that was pierced by Lin Rei, healing at a speed visible to the naked eye, the tension in Jaeyang's heart relaxed. At this time, Lin Rei, who had been waiting at the side, began to explore Jaeyang's 365 corners from top to bottom, from inside to outside. TSK, to be able to survive the attack of the martial god and only receive some insignificant injuries, where did this person learn his skills from? If such a person can become a disciple of my Xuanzong sect, then... Lin Rei's thoughts began to wander as he thought about it. It was a beautiful thought in his heart, but he knew that such a person would follow his own sect and master. It was impossible for him to go to another sect. However, even so, Lin Rei still didn't want to give up. After all, such a person was rare in the entire God realm. During the battle just now, Lin Rei could clearly feel the enormous power coming from Jaeyang's body. This kind of power also shocked Lin Rei. He had the body of a God realm late stage. Even if he didn't use his cultivation and only used the power of his body, he could beat a God realm early stage or middle stage cultivator half to death. But now, he only received a scratch. This caused Lin Li to have an unprecedentedly good impression and curiosity towards the power behind Jaeyong, as well as his master. He was very curious. What kind of master and power could nurture a person to such an extent? Because to cultivate both inside and outside, it was destined to require spiritual medicine and cultivation techniques, as well as all kinds of cultivation resources. Lin Rei, who was also cultivating both inside and outside, naturally knew about it. If he didn't have the system, he wouldn't be able to enter the cultivation world and enter this world that he might not have any interaction with in his lifetime. But with the system, Lin Rei knew about the difficulties, obstacles and all kinds of obstacles in cultivating both inside and outside. Among them, the most important thing was time. And looking at Jaeyang's current age, he was at most 5,000 years old. Of course, some old fellows would use the lightning tribulation to reconstruct their body when they entered the God realm. But the person in front of him was only a great perfection God Emperor. This was also one of the reasons why Lin Rei took a fancy to him. Time passed bit by bit. The wound on Jaeyang's arm finally disappeared and he returned to normal. Come. Just now we fought because of a misunderstanding. Now that I've experienced your anxiousness, I, your brother, am truly moved. At this moment, Lin Rei very naturally raised his seniority by a level. Using weapons might lead to the outcome just now. How about this? I'm happy that your fleshy body is strong. That's great. I, your brother, have also cultivated a body cultivation technique. Next, we'll give up on weapons and cultivation and only use our fleshy body to fight. What do you think, brother? At this moment, hearing Lin Rei's words, Jaeyong revealed a smile on his face. He then opened his mouth and agreed very straightforwardly. All right. Since that's the case, then come. It's been a long time since I met an opponent as strong as you. After saying that, he retracted his cultivation and kept his spear. A long fist that was like a fierce tiger coming down from the mountain instantly appeared on Jaeyang's body. Although Jaeyong looked small and skinny, Lin Rei, who was a bit far away, could feel the oppressive feeling that came from his valiant fleshy body. Oh, not simple. Lin Rei was greatly shocked. Based on Jaeyang's action just now, Lin Rei was able to make an initial judgment that Jaeyang's fleshy body was at least at the middle stage of the God realm. Heh, good. Come. Feeling such a terrifying fleshy body, Lin Rei's eyes did not have the slightest trace of fear. Instead, they revealed a trace of light and excitement. And this was exactly what he needed. Ha bam! Lin Rei retracted his cultivation and spear. Instantly, his vigorous and powerful fleshy body was released. His left leg lightly moved backwards. Suddenly, the floor that Lin Rei's left leg touched exploded. Like a spider web, with Lin Rei's left leg as the center, it spread out in all directions. HM?
Lin Rei's action caused Jie Yong, who was confronting him, to feel a bit more dignified in his heart. Although he had felt Lin Rei's fleshy body before, with this step, he was a bit panicked. However, the panic only lasted for a moment. Then, it disappeared and was replaced by endless battle intent. Bam! Bam! At this moment, Lin Rei and Jie Yong moved at the same time. The two of them were like human-shaped demonic beasts. Without any cultivation, they rushed towards each other. Both of them raised their fists and blasted towards each other with the power of thunder. Their speed was so fast that it was like a fleeting moment. Bam! In just a breath's time, the two of their fists collided with each other with terrifying power. Boom! Suddenly, a terrifying shockwave spread out in all directions with the two of them as the center point. At this moment, the mountain peak that the two of them were standing on instantly cracked and exploded under the impact of their attacks. Heh, not bad. I didn't expect your fleshy body to be so strong. Lin Rei collided with Jie Yong. The two of them looked at each other. Looking at Jie Yong, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with admiration. At this moment, he was even more certain that if he couldn't take such a busy person for his own use, then it would be a waste. There was a good saying. If you miss this village, there won't be another shop. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't want to give up. He wanted to fight for it. Although he knew that he might break his head and bleed, even so, Lin Rei still didn't turn back. You're not bad yourself. To be able to meet such an opponent, what more could I ask for? Jie Yong replied with a smile. After saying that, the two of them instantly separated. Soon after, their fleshy bodies collided again. The speed of the two of them wasn't inferior to when they used their full strength. Bam! 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 In the blink of an eye, the speed of the two of them colliding became faster and faster. In the end, the two of them completely disappeared from the entire mountain peak. Other than the mountain peak being continuously destroyed by the two of them, there was no other evidence to prove their existence. The two of them didn't use any fighting techniques nor did they use any cultivation. At this moment, the two of them were using their fleshy bodies to fight each other. If the big shots of the divine realm were to find out about this kind of battle, they would probably be so shocked that their jaws would be dislocated. After all, this kind of battle between fleshy bodies was rarely seen in millions of years. Not for any other reason but because there were too few people who cultivated their fleshy bodies. Because in the hearts of the people, the fleshy body was useless. As long as they cultivated spiritual energy and increased their cultivation, it would be enough. In reality, the people were wrong. The fleshy body was the foundation of a person. Even if it was a god, the human body was extremely wonderful and profound. It was like a bottomless pit that was always waiting for you to explore it. Rumble! Rumble! At this moment, Xueqi and the others who were mining within the mountain peak felt the mountain peak shaking endlessly. Immediately, their faces were filled with helplessness. Sigh! What are they doing? Making such a big commotion. Could it be that they don't know that we're still below? Could it be that they want to bury us alive? Xueqi said speechlessly. TSK. Just what kind of opponent did they meet for the young master to fight to such an extent? It would seem that the opponent this time is a bit difficult to deal with. At this moment, Xueqi, who was in the opposite direction from Xueqi, heard the rumbling sounds coming from above the mountain peak as well as the shaking of the mountain peak. Xueqi exclaimed in surprise in her heart. Chapter 762. On the other side, the Pai Xiu felt the mountain shaking as well as the rumbling sounds coming from the mountain. It snorted disdainfully and said, "You two bastards. Why don't you let me quickly finish mining these divine crystals? Really?" As it spoke, it grumbled and rolled its eyes at the mountain in the sky. Then, it continued to work hard on its life of being absent. At that instant, the Pai Xiu felt very comfortable. After all, these divine crystals could allow it to recover its cultivation and even increase its cultivation. At that moment, it especially hoped that the divine crystals here would be inexhaustible. However, it could only daydream. As the saying goes, imagination is beautiful but reality is very cruel. At that moment, Lin Rei and Jie Yong were punching each other in the sky. They were completely unaware of the thoughts of the people who were mining. "Come on, let me see how strong your physical strength is." At that instant, as he watched Jie Yong fight with him for such a long time, a trace of exhaustion appeared on his face. Then, He wanted to end the battle quickly. Because, at that moment, he discovered that his physical strength was slowly depleting. If this continued, he was afraid that. After saying that, Lin Rei immediately increased his physical strength from 10% to 10% complete. At that instant, Lin Rei no longer concealed anything. He couldn't afford to waste his physical strength. Not only was his physical strength depleting, more importantly, just earlier, the system suddenly sent a message to him saying that the ancient corpse trove was about to open. It wanted him to quickly end the matter here and head towards the ancient corpse trove. Regarding that, the matter of the ancient corpse trove was far more important than sparring with Jie Yang. After all, that place was related to his life. He didn't want others to run ahead of him. Even more so, he didn't want to delay his life and end it here. He didn't allow it and he couldn't allow it to happen. So, at that instant, Lin Rei pushed his physical body to the limits. His skin trembled, his muscles trembled, his organs circulated, his bones hardened, his meridians tough. At that instant, Lin Rei pushed his physical body to the limits without holding anything back. Hiss! A breath of cold air came from Jie Yang's mouth. His face and heart were filled with shock. Just a moment ago, he was originally able to fight to a standstill. However, in the next moment, Jie Yang discovered that his bombardment was slowly being suppressed. Not long after, he was intimidated by the terrifying waves of qi emitted from Lin Rei's body. As someone who also cultivated the physical body, he could already feel the source of the airwave. It was none other than the churning of the qi and blood in his body. Looking at Lin Rei, Jie Yang's gaze was strange. It was as if he was looking at a human-shaped giant beast. At this moment, Jie Yang sighed in his heart. He knew that he had already lost. At the instant he sensed that frightening aura, Jie Yang knew that he was inferior to Lin Rei. Pang! A muffled groan could be heard as the two continued fighting. Lin Rei's fleshy body became stronger and stronger. In the end, under Jie Yang's carelessness, a fist the size of a sandbag directly smashed against Jie Yang's chest. This fist carried all the strength of Lin Rei's fleshy body. If it was any other late-stage god emperor, they would most likely be in grave danger if they didn't use their protective god energy, body armor, and defensive arrays. However, Jie Yang, who similarly had a powerful fleshy body, even though his fleshy body realm wasn't as high as Lin Rei's, his defense was extremely strong. Under Lin Rei's heavy fist, even though his injuries weren't light and there were traces of blood at the corner of his mouth, he was much better off compared to other cultivators. Phew! After being knocked flying back 100 meters, Jie Yang let out a long breath. Enduring the pain in his chest, he wiped away the blood at the corner of his mouth, and then looked at Linley with a look of admiration. He said, "Old bro Linley, I really didn't want to split. Your physical body has already reached such a powerful level. I imagine you should be at the late stage of the deity level, right?" Hearing Jie Yang's question, Lin Rei's eyes flashed with light. He then nodded with a smile and agreed, "That's right. Old brother's fleshy body realm has already reached the late-stage deity realm. However, if I want to improve further, it would be extremely difficult. I believe you should have experienced this before." As he spoke, a bitter smile appeared on Linley's face as he pointed at Jie Yang. Sigh. Jie Yang sighed and said helplessly, "That's right. My fleshy body has been at the mid-stage deity realm for more than 2,000 years. Every time I want to break through, I would be restrained by a layer of indescribable power. In the end, I couldn't break through even if I wanted to. In these 2,000 years, Master found a lot of heavenly treasures for me. Among them, there was no lack of training in the ninth heaven divine thunder, training in the depths of an everlasting volcano, and being pressured by the gravity of the sea water. He even personally found a late-stage deity realm array master for me and asked him to stop a gravity array for me. However, after all these, I still couldn't break through to the late-stage deity realm. My heart is dead." As he spoke, Jie Yang, who was originally filled with helplessness and unwillingness, suddenly had his eyes brighten. Immediately after, his gaze fell upon Linley. Immediately after, his eyes brightened and he began to ask Linley about the method of breaking through. "Old brother Lin Rei, since you've broken through to the late-stage deity realm, can you tell me what happened when you broke through?" "Add this." Hearing Jie Yang's question, Lin Rei's expression changed. He recalled the time when he was bombarded by lightning in the lightning region. Suddenly, Lin Rei couldn't help but tremble.
That feeling was something that Lin Rei would never forget for the rest of his life. Of course, that was only during the early stages. Lin Rei still felt heart-wrenching pain. Later on, the lightning in the lightning region didn't have any effect on him. However, at that time he seemed to have reached the late-stage deity realm. Is it inconvenient? Seeing Lin Rei standing there in a daze and not making any sound, Jae-young thought that Lin Rei wouldn't say anything. After all, the cultivation method was very private and he had only met Lin Rei for a short period of time. How could he say such a profound question? Lin Rei, who woke up from his memories, saw the disappointment and helplessness on Jae-young's face. Then he smiled and said, "You're thinking too much. It's just a cultivation method. There's nothing that can't be said." Is that true? At this moment, Jae-young, who had already given up all hope, revealed a smile after hearing those words. "It's true." Jae-young nodded and replied. Then, he told Jae-young about the item he used to break through. "Back then, I was in the 5th layer of the lightning region of the Death Valley. I endured 100 years of lightning tribulation, and my body broke through to the late-stage deity realm." Lightning tribulation. 100 years. Upon hearing Lin Li's method of breaking through, Jae-young was instantly shocked. He had endured the pain of the thunder tribulation before. Back then, it was so painful that he wanted to die. Moreover, he had only endured it for a few days, and those few days had been intermittent. Now that he heard that Lin Rei endured 100 years of lightning tribulation to break through to the late-stage deity realm, he couldn't help but admire Lin Rei even more. It was hard for him to imagine what kind of perseverance one must have to endure 100 years of lightning tribulation to break through to the late-stage deity realm. If he was in Lin Rei's shoes and had to endure 100 years of lightning tribulation to break through to the late-stage deity realm, he probably wouldn't be able to endure it. After all, lightning tribulation was a supreme existence. It was the nemesis of all evil. After enduring 100 years, that person would probably be crippled. And that's right. Lin Rei nodded and said, however, that might not be the case. Being unable to break through might not be a problem with treasures, but a problem with cultivation technique. With regards to Jae-young, after having interacted with him just now, Lin Li could sense that Jae-young already had a very doting master. A master like this would definitely do everything in his power to find treasures for Jae-young. However, Jae-young hadn't broken through to the late-stage deity realm in 2,000 years with the help of treasures. This made Lin Rei wonder if it was a problem with Jae-young's cultivation technique. After all, if a person's cultivation technique was lacking, then no matter how much he tempered his body, it would be useless. Cultivation technique? Hearing Lin Rei's words, Jae-young pondered. Thinking about it carefully, everything that happened in the past might really be a problem with his cultivation technique. After all, he had eaten so many treasures, there was no reason why he couldn't break through. Either Jae-young's physique could do it, or it was a problem with his cultivation technique. Seeing Jae-young frowning in contemplation, Lin Rei's curiosity surged and he said, "If you don't mind and believe in me, take out your cultivation technique and let me have a look. I'll see if your cultivation technique is as I think and if there's a problem with it." Oh. Hearing Lin Rei's request, Jae-young hesitated for a moment. It wasn't that he didn't want to, and it wasn't that he didn't trust Lin Rei. After the battle just now, he had already acknowledged Lin Rei. The reason why he hesitated was because his master once said that unless he agreed, he couldn't pass his cultivation technique to a third person. Now, hearing Lin Rei say that he wanted to see his cultivation technique, Jae-young suddenly thought of his master's words and hesitated. All right. After all, cultivation techniques are the foundation of a sect. It's normal that you don't take it out. Seeing Jae-young's hesitation, Lin Rei nodded and didn't think much about it. After all, he had already thought of this result, so he wasn't too disappointed at the moment. No. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Jae-young's expression changed and he quickly shook his head to explain. It's not like that. It's my master. When he gave me the cultivation technique, he told me that I can't show it to a third person, so I don't dare to disobey my master. Please forgive me. Lin Rei, speechless. However, it wasn't surprising. After that, Lin Rei didn't say anything. After all, he wasn't the one who couldn't break through. At this moment, Lin Rei gave up on arguing with him. Then he came to the crack, ignored Jae-young who was standing in the air, and jumped into the crack. Huff.
His body sank and he ran all the way. There was no obstruction at all. However, the distance ahead was huge. Therefore, Lin Rei sank for almost a minute before he safely landed. Bang! There was a loud sound. Because he didn't use his cultivation, the moment Lin Rei's feet touched the ground, the stone under his feet broke apart inch by inch. His feet sank into the stone until they reached his knees before he stopped. With Lin Li at the center, all of the rocks around him had been blasted apart. In an area of 10 meters, a large crater had appeared. At this moment, Xueqi, who was working hard to mine, heard a strange sound behind her. She immediately turned her head to look. However, because she was already underground, she couldn't see anything other than the stone. At the same time, Xueqi and the others who were mining in 3 different directions were also like Xueqi. However, in the end they were also like Xueqi. They couldn't see anything and ended up with nothing. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't look for anyone. Instead, he looked at a place where no one had dug before. He saw red stones that were shining brightly. One by one, they were embedded in the mountain. Sensing the unstoppable divine crystal's energy, Lin Rei sighed in his heart. What a waste! Devouring heavenly art, devour! As the saying goes, wasting is shameful. Lin Rei just happened to not like being a shameful person. Therefore, in an instant, more than 10 vortexes of spiritual energy appeared. In the end, they began to devour the divine crystal's spiritual energy in the air. Hiss! With just a casual breath, Lin Li could clearly sense that his own power was growing at a snail's pace. It was slowly but surely increasing. As the saying goes, even an ant's leg is meat. Lin Rei understood the principle of many little things making a mickle. Soon after, as he devoured the spiritual energy in the air, Lin Rei began his great life of absenteeism. On the outside, after the battle with Lin Rei ended, Jie Yong, who was in his hands, didn't leave after Lin Rei left. Instead, he came to the mountain peak and found a flat rock to sit down on. He closed his eyes and began to cultivate. As for his previous injuries, because Lin Rei's 9 revolving water cloud pellet was still in his body, after he was injured earlier, the remaining medicinal properties of the 9 revolving water cloud pellet were completely released and began to heal Jie Yang's physical body. Jie Yang didn't have any intention of leaving. His intuition told him that if he followed Lin Rei, he might be able to solve the problem of his physical body being unable to make a breakthrough. Just like this, Lin Rei and the others were busy underground. As for Jie Yang, he was also leisurely cultivating on the mountain peak. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, 2 months had passed. In these 2 months, Lin Rei practically didn't have any cultivation. In order to be able to quickly settle the matters here, he had to work hard. He was risking his life to mine the ore. Under everyone's painstaking efforts, finally, after 2 months, the last piece of divine crystal was dug out by Lin Rei. Looking at the divine crystal in his hand, Lin Rei's heart was filled with excitement and joy. At the same time, the instant Lin Rei dug out the last piece of divine crystal, the dozen or so spiritual energy whirlpools floating around Lin Rei completely dissipated. At this moment, because of the divine crystal, it was originally very bright. But now, the instant the last piece of divine crystal was dug out by Lin Rei, it completely dimmed. The spiritual energy that was floating in the air in the entire vein was completely devoured by Lin Rei's devouring heaven chant. It's finally over, Lin Rei said with a happy smile as he wiped his sweat. Yeah, it's finally over. The ancient corpse trove will open in 1 day. Suddenly the system spoke. Chapter 763. So fast? How is that possible? Lin Rei was shocked. He had always been concerned about the opening of the ancient corpse trove, but he never thought that he would be delayed for such a long time. Although they had taken the supreme grade divine crystals for cultivation, the Corpse King elixir of the ancient corpse vault master was far more valuable than these divine crystals. Obtaining the Corpse King pill was equivalent to obtaining his own life, but now he had missed the opening of the ancient corpse trove. And judging from his current location, there was still a long way to go before the ancient corpse trove. Even at his fastest speed, it would take him 7 to 8 days to reach it. At this moment, Lin Rei was anxious, really anxious. At this moment, Lin Rei even began to regret. If he knew that he would delay the opening of the ancient corpse trove, he would not have dug for divine crystals here. Nonsense,
You've been delayed for 1 or 2 months. Tell me, the ancient corpse trove would not wait for you to arrive before opening. The system was speechless. At this moment, Lin Rei was dumbfounded by the system's words. It was right, after all, he had been delayed for a long time. Forget it, let's hurry up and leave. Now we can only pray that those cultivators who have arrived early will not catch the Corpse King. With that, Lin Rei began to pray silently in his heart. Hearing this, the system was speechless. You brat, you really know how to comfort yourself? If you say they won't find it, then they won't find it. You're not fate nor are you luck. At most, you're a cultivator who defies the heavens. I advise you to stop thinking about these useless things. Hurry up and leave this place and rush to the ancient corpse trove. The Corpse King pill will not be waiting for you there obediently. Don't forget the rumor that swallowing the Corpse King pill can increase one's cultivation. Lin Rei. Listening to the system's reprimand, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment before he suddenly realized, that's right. Hurry and leave. As he spoke, he turned around and faced the pitch-black cave behind him. Activating his chi, he shouted towards the other side of the cave. Xueqi, Yun Kai, Xiefeng, Pai Xiao, Jade-faced Rakshasa, when you hear my order, withdraw immediately. Whether you have finished digging or not, withdraw immediately. I will be waiting for you at the top of the mountain. Whoosh! After saying that, Lin Rei immediately operated his cultivation base and used the profound meaning of the dragon's subduing step. In an instant, Lin Rei's figure disappeared from the cave. A second ago he was still in the cave, and the next moment, he was already at the peak of the mountain. The moment Xueqi and the others heard Lin Rei's firm order, they immediately gave up on the divine crystals before them. They immediately used their cultivation and charged towards the peak of the mountain without any hesitation. Hey! At this moment, just as Lin Li appeared at the peak of the mountain, a voice rang out from behind him. Hearing a strange sound behind him, Lin Li immediately turned around and saw that Jie Yong was waiting for Big Eye. He was sitting on the ground and staring at Lin Li. You? When he saw Jie Yong, Lin Rei was puzzled. He did not expect that Jie Yong did not leave and was still quietly waiting here. Brother Lin Rei, aren't I waiting for you? Seeing the puzzlement in Lin Rei's eyes, Jie Yong chuckled and immediately stood up. He took a step forward and appeared in front of Lin Rei. His face was brimming with smiles, giving Lin Rei a sense of intimacy. Waiting for me? Hearing Jie Yong's words, Lin Rei was even more puzzled. However, when he thought about how he said that he could solve the problem of Jie Yong's physical body, he suddenly understood why Jie Yong was waiting for him. Oh, so that's how it is. After realizing Jie Yong's intention, Lin Rei did not have the intention to drive him away. After all, he already had the idea of taking him in for his own use. And now, with such a good opportunity, wouldn't he be a fool if he didn't take it? As the saying goes, it would be a waste not to use him. If Lin Rei did not use him, wouldn't it be a waste of natural resources and be ignorant of the situation? Whoosh! Whoosh! While the two of them were chatting, a few figures instantly flew out from the crack on the top of the mountain and stood behind Lin Rei. Looking at the appearance of these people, Jie Yong frowned. However, when he saw the smile on Lin Rei's face, he became silent. Then he also became silent. However, Jie Yong's silence did not mean that Xiefeng and the others were also silent. At this moment, everyone noticed the young man in front of Lin Rei. Everyone was silent for a while. Lin Rei, he is. At this moment, Xiefeng finally couldn't hold back and asked. At this moment, when Lin Rei asked, everyone's curious gaze shrouded Lin Rei and Jie Yong. Looking at their thirsty gaze, Lin Rei slowly introduced Jie Yong to everyone. Jie Yong is the person that I had you all go down first while I was fighting against here. Originally, I thought that he was an enemy. It was only later that I realized that I had made a mistake. After that, I entered the crack. However, when I returned, I did not expect that Jie Yong was still here. After he recounted what had happened after they left, everyone roughly understood what had happened and nodded their heads. Looking at everyone's admiring gaze, Lin Rei quickly changed the topic and introduced Xiefeng and the others to Jie Yong. Xiefeng, Xueqi, Yun Kai, Pai Xiao, Jade-faced Rakshasa. Oh, that's right. There's also our good friend Ba Bao Bao. At this moment, Lin Rei pointed at everyone and introduced them to Jie Yong. Hearing Lin Rei's introduction,
Jie Yang politely nodded at everyone. Fellow cultivators, I am Jie Yang.
Please take care of me in the future.
What?
What do you mean?
Hearing Jie Yang's words of, please take care of me in the future, anyone who understood would be able to tell that he clearly didn't want to leave. Seeing the confused Xueqi, Lin Rui explained, I forgot to tell you. In the future, Jie Yang will be following us. Also, don't underestimate Jie Yang. If it wasn't for the fact that my physical body was slightly stronger, I'm afraid that I would have been defeated by Jie Yang. Hiss! Hearing Lin Rui's words, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Their faces were filled with shock as they looked at Jie Yang. Everyone knew a little about Lin Rui's strength. Now, there was a young man who was only a step away from Lin Rui's strength. How could they not be shocked? Even Xueqi, who was at the side, felt incomparable pressure from Jie Yang's terrifying strength. Such a young man, his appearance should be about the same as Lin Li's. Yet, he was able to fight on par with the young master of a family. How could he not feel pressured? At the side, the jade-faced Rakshasa who was the supreme god of the inner god realm looked at Jie Yang with confusion in her heart. She had never heard of the name Jie Yang in the inner god realm, 9th continent.
This made her a bit confused.
Logically speaking, a young genius with such battle strength, a proud son of heaven, shouldn't be unknown in the god realm.
Maybe it was because she was curious.
Looking at Jie Yang, the jade-faced Rakshasa opened her mouth and asked, Jie Yang, may I ask if I'll be so bold? I have never heard of your name in the god realm. May I know which sect you are from and who your master is?
Hearing this, Lin Rui was happy. Previously, he also wanted to ask but he didn't.
Now that the jade-faced Rakshasa had asked, it would save him the trouble of asking in the future. At this moment, everyone was very curious. Everyone's gaze was gathered on Jie Yang. They all wanted to know his background and the power behind him. This. Hearing the jade-faced Rakshasa's request, Jie Yang's expression became awkward. Actually, it's fine if I don't say it.
I'm just saying it. You can just take it as a joke.
There's no need to take it seriously. Seeing Jie Yang in such a difficult position, the jade-faced Rakshasa also gave up. After all, this kind of thing happened frequently in the god realm. However, most of them were afraid of being retaliated against. Of course, there was also a group of stubborn old people who didn't like letting their disciples use their reputation to do evil outside. With Jie Yang's situation, everyone couldn't help but think of the second option. After all, such a powerful cultivator could only be nurtured by the giants of the god realm. Thank you for your understanding. At this moment, Jie Yang let out a sigh of relief and his expression relaxed. Sigh. Looks like I have to find another opportunity. Seeing the jade-faced Rakshasa give up so easily, he felt helpless. However, he soon felt relieved. Hey brat, why aren't you leaving? Why are you dilly-dallying here? Don't you want the Corpse King pill?
Suddenly, the system urged again.
Okay.
I got it. I'll leave immediately.
Lin Rui was stunned and immediately nodded his head in agreement. At this moment, Lin Rui, who was looking at Jie Yang with a disappointed gaze, suddenly became serious. He said to everyone, Okay, stop being so long-winded. I just received news that the ancient corpse trove will open tomorrow. If we gather here now, it will take 7 to 8 days at the fastest speed. Therefore, we can't delay any longer.
What? It's opening so soon?
Xueqi was shocked and her brows were tightly knitted together. She knew that Lin Rui came here for the ancient corpse trove. Now, he was delayed because of this matter. Suddenly, she felt a burst of anger in her heart. And, we've wasted too much time here. Therefore, in the following time, everyone will be tired. We have to rush without stopping. Lin Rui felt very guilty. Especially towards Xueqi, Xueqi, and Yun Kai. After all, this was his own matter. Now that he had implicated the three of them, they were also implicated.
It's fine.
Don't worry, young master.
That's right.
Young master, this distance is nothing. Hearing Xueqi and Yun Kai's words, Xueqi revealed a faint smile and then said indifferently, That's right. You're looking down on me too much. You should know that my speed is very fast. You. Hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Rui was stunned. However, when he saw Xueqi's mysterious smile,
he immediately hesitated. Oh! Suddenly Xiefeng, who was originally in human form, flew up into the sky without any warning. Then, her body trembled and 100 feet large true phoenix appeared in front of everyone's eyes. What? True phoenix? How is this possible? Didn't they say that the true phoenix clan was exterminated during the Great Desolate Era? At this time, Jieyong looked at the 100 feet large Xiefeng above his head that was emitting waves of Sage's aura. He was shocked and in disbelief. Impossible. It's impossible for Master to deceive me. How could a true phoenix still exist in this world? Impossible, impossible. At that time, Jieyong was as if he was possessed as he muttered to himself with a foolish gaze. Regarding this, none of them said anything. However, there was another person who had the exact same expression as Jieyong. That person was none other than the jade-faced Rakshasa. Boy, quickly come up. This time you guys are really lucky. Even the 3,000 demon gods of Hongmeng don't have the qualifications to sit on me. If it wasn't for Lin Rei, I'm afraid that you guys wouldn't have this opportunity in your entire life. At this moment, Xiefeng's arrogant head was raised up high with a look of contempt. But of course, everyone knew in their hearts that this was disdain towards them, not towards Linley. Looking at Xiefeng making such a sacrifice, their hearts were tired and their hearts were filled with gratitude. Thank you. In the future, I will definitely concoct more 9 revolution mixed energy pills for you to repay your help this time. At this moment, Lin Rei silently said in his heart. It was impossible for Lin Rei to say such words out loud. In the air, Xiefeng lowered her head to look at everyone's excitement. Only Lin Rei was stunned. Immediately Xiefeng said, Boy, what are you waiting for? Hurry up. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that I won't regret it. Lin Rei was so grateful towards Xiefeng that he was speechless. Then, without wasting any time, he said to Xueqi and the others, let's go. After saying that, Lin Rei disappeared from the peak of the mountain in a flash. When they saw Lin Rei again, he was already on Xiefeng's back. Bang! A loud sound rang out. Everyone turned their heads to look and saw the 8th Bao Bao take a step back. The place where the 8th Bao Bao had stepped on had already cracked open. Everyone was shocked at this, but after what had happened before, everyone felt much better now. Hey! Seeing the 8 treasures arrive, Linley chuckled, a hint of a smile appearing on his face. It's a real phoenix. It would be a waste if I don't ride on it. Maybe I won't have this opportunity and treatment in the future. 8th baby looked at Xiefeng and said smugly. Lin Rei was speechless. However, 8th baby's words weren't without reason. Swish, swish. At the next moment, everyone who saw 8th baby's actions removed their restraints and climbed onto Xiefeng's back. All right, sit tight. I won't be responsible for anyone who falls down. Seeing that everyone was on her back, Xiefeng said indifferently. Then, she circulated her cultivation and Xiefeng moved. Whoosh! At this moment, the evil phoenix was like a meteor that streaked across the sky with unfathomable speed. At this moment, everyone could clearly hear the sound of space being torn apart. This speed made everyone click their tongues. Perhaps only the Kuan Peng Demon Master in the Untainted Land could match his speed. Boom! At this moment, in a mountain range, a shocking light pillar suddenly appeared. It carried a terrifying ceiling pressure and instantly swept across a radius of 1,000 feet. Look, the ancient corpse vault is open. Chapter 764. Many experts gathered and entered the ancient corpse vault. Lin Rei and the others arrived. Systems split outside the seal of the ancient corpse trove. Thousands of cultivators were gathered. It was a spectacular sight to behold. At this moment, among the thousands of people, a young woman wearing a sword Sect's robe saw the light pillar above the ancient corpse vault seal. She immediately exclaimed to her fellow sword Sect disciples. Damn! It's really opened. Look. Oh my God, what a spectacle! This is a rare sight. At this moment, everyone present was in an uproar. Those from the Sword Sect, Rain Sect, Weapon Refining Sect, Formation Sect, Donzong Sect, and the other 7 sects, as well as some 2nd and 3rd rank sections. There were also some smaller sections. These smaller sects did not have strong cultivations. They mainly wanted to follow behind the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rank sects to pick up scraps.
One had to know that the treasures in the ancient corpse vault were things that they could never obtain in their entire lives. Any random independent godly medicine was more than 100,000 years old. They were all old medicines. Any one of them could raise their cultivation by 1 or 2 realms. How could they not be tempted by the temptation of raising their cultivation level? However, there was an old saying that went, "Fortune and misfortune lurk within, and misfortune and fortune rely on each other." Danger and opportunity coexisted. This was something that every cultivator should know and understand when they entered the cultivation world. At the same time, in the ancient corpse vault, as long as you had the ability and were stronger than others, there were no restrictions. Even if you killed your fellow sect members, no one would care. Thus, there was no need to talk about killing and robbing. In the ancient corpse vault, it was a common occurrence. Every time the ancient corpse vault opened, hundreds and thousands of people would enter. However, in the end, only a few would come out. There was even a time when all the cultivators who entered the ancient corpse vault were wiped out. In the end, no one knew what happened inside. Even so, the cultivators who came out brought back heavenly treasures. Every single one of them was shocking enough. Therefore, even though they knew that there was danger inside and that they might not be able to make it back alive, the temptation in front of them was still there. Their bodies no longer listened to their commands. Instead, they were controlled by their own greed and were unable to free themselves. At this moment, looking at the opening of the ancient corpse vault seal, everyone was very excited. Everyone wanted to give it a try. They all wanted to quickly go in and come out. However, their rationality had been suppressed by desire and greed. They had lost their sense of self. Greed, anger, and infatuation. These 3 frightening sins made everyone tremble in fear, but they also made people yearn for them. Sometimes, everyone was very envious of the devil race and devil cultivators. The devil race emphasized on freedom transformation, and those who cultivated had already cultivated greed, anger, and foolishness. Therefore, the devil race and devil cultivators would not encounter inner demons because they would not care so much. They themselves were freedom transformation. Boom! With a loud bang, a terrifying pressure instantly rushed out. This pressure was even stronger than the pressure emitted by the seal earlier. Even some supreme gods who were hiding in the dark could not help but be startled at this moment. Their bodies sank and they instantly descended from the sky. In the end, they stood together with the crowd. Hiss! This is the last ancestor of the sword sect in the divine world. I originally thought that he had already ascended. I did not expect him to still be in the divine world. Moreover, he is still alive. This is unbelievable. At this moment, a young man saw the sudden appearance of the old man. He was immediately stunned. Immediately, his face was filled with joy. His eyes shone as he exclaimed in surprise. Quick, look. The ancestor of the Rain Sect, Yu Tianchen, who is called the god of rain by the later generations, he is also alive. The Danzong Sect, the ancestor of the Danzong Sect, Dan Yunzi, he is also alive. Then one by one, the old men who should have disappeared from this world appeared one by one. Feeling the aura from their bodies, the crowd could not help but tremble. They all had the urge to kneel down and worship them. The ancestor of the Formation Sect, the Formation God, he is also alive. The ancestor of the Tool Refining Sect, Hua Yun Tian. The ancestor of the Talisman Sect, Gu Gutian, he is also alive. At this moment, all the old men who did not die had appeared. Each and every one of them were experts who could shake the world in the past. Originally, there were rumors that these people had either entered the divine world or died because they could not resist the reincarnation of the Tendo. Originally, the world did not believe these rumors. However, as time passed, these people were gradually forgotten by the people of the world. However, the geniuses and elites of the 7 sects would worship these old ancestors who had contributed to the sect when they were promoted to the ranks of the geniuses. But now, the dead people that they had been worshipping were all alive and standing in front of them. How could they accept this? Asterisk boom. Asterisk another rumble was heard. The third wave of pressure spread out within a radius of 100 feet. At this moment, the pressure from the ancient corpse trove was no longer the same as before. This pressure could penetrate one's heart and soul. In the process of the pressure, only those with a firm Tao heart would be affected. If the others did not have a firm Tao heart, they would be suppressed by the pressure and would not be harmed at all.
After everyone had entered the ancient corpse trove, the pressure would be withdrawn. This pressure would be delayed for a year. After a year, the ancient corpse trove would automatically close. The ancient corpse trove would remain open for 30 years. During this 30 years, one could cultivate in the ancient corpse trove or enter the depths of the ancient corpse trove. Of course, the prerequisite was that one had to have the strength to do so. The seal of the ancient corpse trove would remain open for a year. After a year it would close. If one wanted to open it again, they would have to wait for 30 years. On the 30th year after the ancient corpse trove opened, the ancient corpse trove would open again. After that, the cultivators in the ancient corpse trove would have to leave the ancient corpse trove. This was the rule of the ancient corpse trove. It was also the information that the survivors had brought back. In this regard, the sects did not dare to hesitate. After all, the ancient corpse trove was very dangerous. They did not dare to be careless. The third wave of pressure came crushing down. Suddenly, the tens of thousands of people who were originally within 100 feet of the ancient corpse trove fell to the ground and fainted the moment they felt the pressure. Among them, there were Hierarch, Divine Emperor, Divine Monarch, Divine Sovereign, and Divine Emperor experts. Those who fainted meant that their Tao heart was not firm enough. At the same time, among those who were standing, there were experts above the Divine Emperor realm. There were also cultivators below the Divine Emperor realm. The seal only worked on those with weak Tao heart. Even if you were a Hierarch expert, you would not be able to enter as long as your Tao heart was not firm enough. Even if you were only a Divine Guard, as long as your Tao heart was firm enough, you would be able to enter the ancient corpse trove. This was also the reason why there were so many people here. Some small sects even called all of their people here in order to have a chance to enter the ancient corpse trove and search for opportunities. Let's go! At this moment, the Sword Sect's old ancestor, Jian Feishuang, saw that there were only 1,000 people left. He felt helpless. Let's go! At the side, the Rain Sect's old ancestor heard Jian Feishuang's words and said to the Rain Sect's disciples who had fainted behind him. At this moment, the 7 old ancestors, as well as the small sects who had not fainted, they did not care about the people who had fainted. Without any hesitation, they circulated their cultivation and used their divine energy to envelop their disciples. Instantly, they turned into a ray of light and rushed into the ancient corpse trove seal. After the 7 streaks of light, there were only a few hundred people left. Let's go. Follow behind them. Although we can't obtain the fortune of heaven and earth, at least we can obtain some treasures that they don't want. Yeah, hurry up. Don't fall behind. At this moment, the remaining few teams muttered to themselves. Then, they led the disciples who had not fainted and walked into the light pillar of the ancient corpse trove seal without hesitation. At this moment, the originally bustling infinite boundless mountain was completely silent. Originally, there should have been some powerful demonic beasts residing within the infinite boundless mountain. However, in the instant that the ancient corpse trove began, a powerful pressure instantly chased them out of the infinite boundless mountain. In the sky above the Sky Mountain range, a true phoenix that was 100 feet in size was flying across the sky rapidly towards the ancient corpse trove. Its speed was so fast that it made one's hair stand on end. This true phoenix was none other than Xueqi. On Xueqi's back, Chen Dan and the others were sitting on it, cultivating leisurely. Time passed by slowly. In the blink of an eye, they had been flying for 2 days from the supreme-grade divine crystal mine. In these 2 days, Lin Rei did not stop for a single moment. He was a hard-working cultivator with divine crystals in his hand. He wished that he could break through to the early hierarch realm before entering the ancient corpse trove. However, he knew that it was impossible even if he used the devouring heaven art. Lin Rei knew his own body well. If he wanted to break through to the early hierarch realm, the price he had to pay would be more than 10 times harder than an ordinary hierarch realm expert. If there was no time, it was impossible to enter the hierarch realm in a short period of time without an endless supply of spiritual energy. Phew! Lin Rei, who was cultivating with his eyes closed, exhaled a long breath of turbid air. His face was filled with disappointment. Whoosh! A strange sound was heard from his hand. A supreme-grade divine crystal that no longer had a trace of spiritual energy turned into dust in an instant. It fell from Lin Rei's hand and turned into specks of dust. Sigh! Cultivating like this one piece at a time is really too slow. If only I could cultivate for 100 years at once, how great would that be?
Looking at the divine crystal that had broken free from his hand and turned into dust, Linley couldn't help but let out a sigh. Heh, kid, you're really daring. Cultivating for 100 years' worth of energy in one go? Why don't you say that you can reach the pinnacle of Taoism or even surpass Taoism? At this moment, Xueqi, who was flying, heard Lin Rei's sigh from her back and immediately retorted. Lin Rei was speechless. Lin Rei did not say anything. Xueqi felt helpless and continued, "Don't think too much. We're about to reach the ancient corpse trove. You'd better think about what to do next."
What? So fast?
Hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Rei's face immediately revealed a shocked expression. He really did not expect that he would need to fly at full speed for 7 to 8 days without stopping to reach the ancient corpse trove. But now, only 2 days had passed and she said that they were about to reach their destination. This made Lin Rei feel helpless. Tisk, it's good to have a strong cultivation. It's only been 2 days and we're almost there. Looking at Xueqi, Lin Rei couldn't help but click his tongue. His heart was filled with envy, but there was no jealousy or hatred. Because he knew that he believed that he would have such speed soon. And this was only a matter of time. Lin Rei was very confident about this. Hey, of course. Don't you know who I am? Xueqi said complacently in response to Lin Rei's praise. Once again there was nothing to say. At this moment, Xueqi knew that Lin Rei was very anxious, so she did not talk nonsense and focused on speed. Time passed again. In the blink of an eye, half a day had passed. At this moment, because Xueqi said that they were about to arrive, Lin Rei did not go in to cultivate. At this moment, a beam of light appeared in the distance. Looking at the beam of light, Lin Rei was delighted. We're finally here. Whoosh! At this moment, looking at the beam of light, Xueqi sped up again. She was not very far away, so in the blink of an eye, Xueqi arrived in front of the beam of light. Only after arriving did Linley and Demonic Phoenix see that the area in front of the pillar of light was filled with people. Their auras were normal, and there was nothing wrong with them at all. However, they were all lying unconscious on the ground. Coercion. At this moment, Linley saw the corpses lying on the ground. In the next instant, a terrifying wave of pressure swept over him. As soon as he sensed this enormous pressure, Linley knew that these people were unconscious. What was going on? Oh, so your Taoist heart is not strong enough. Saying that, his eyes were full of disdain. Then, without looking at the people on the ground, he jumped off Xueqi's back and finally landed in front of the beam of light. At this moment, the people sitting on Xueqi's back had woken up. At this moment, Xueqi's body shrank and finally turned into a human again. She came to Lin Rei's side. At this moment, Lin Rei ignored Xueqi and said to the system, "System, help me explore this ancient corpse trove." Okay, but 300,000 exchange points. No bargaining, the system said. F***CK. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei felt helpless. However, in order to ensure the safety of the inside, Lin Rei could only bear the pain and agree. Okay, hurry up and explore. Hearing Lin Rei's agreement, the system responded. Okay, wait. Ding dong, the system has begun to explore. Host, please wait for a moment. At this moment, a familiar voice sounded. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 minutes had passed. Lin Rei kept looking at the beam of light in front of him and did not do anything. Xueqi and the others were helpless about this. Ding dong, exploration completed. The map of the ancient corpse trove has been successfully extracted. Host, do you want to check? Of course. Lin Rei was speechless about the system's operation every time. Ding dong, the ancient corpse trove is divided into 3 levels. Heaven, Earth, and Man. Among them, Man is the lowest and Heaven is the highest. Chapter 765. Just like what I said just now, there are 3 levels of Heaven, Earth, and Human. In each level of Heaven, there will be a boss who guards the spirits of each level. The reason this place is called the Ancient Corpse Vault is because ancient cultivators, gods, devils, demons, humans, and later generations are buried here. Just like now, when the Ancient Corpse Vault was opened, the cultivators who entered died inside. Oh! The more Lin Rei listened, the more excited he became. According to what the system said, as long as he killed endlessly, he would be able to absorb their death experience points. Although it was little, the people who died in ancient times and during this period of time were undeniably worth a lot of experience points. At the thought of this, Lin Rei became inexplicably excited, and his face turned red from his own thoughts.
Hee hee, kid, you're really daring. However, I can't deny that you're right. At this moment, the system spoke. F***CK, you're listening to my thoughts. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei cursed and said helplessly. Looking at Lin Rei, the system rolled its eyes. Nonsense, if I don't listen to your thoughts, how can I know what you're thinking? Moreover, killing isn't the only way to gain experience points. Continue listening. Maybe there will be an unexpected surprise? After the system finished speaking, it closed its mouth. Immediately after, the system's probing voice sounded again. In this regard, Lin Rei was even more excited to hear what the system was going to say next. Although this ancient corpse vault is a treasure trove, I have to say that it's also an incredible treasure trove. Oh? What do you mean? Lin Rei was puzzled. This ancient corpse vault was originally an incredible treasure trove. However, it was tainted by the blood of deities, demons, and humans. In the end, under the accumulation of time, the original celestial dragon spring became the current 9 blood evil treasure trove. However, it's undeniable that although it has changed, it's still a venerable treasure trove. Because of the formation of the blood of humans, demons, deities, and other races, the blood evil chi and yin chi in the ancient corpse vault are especially dense. If you really want to talk about a degree, it's like what the host said before, you're looking for a long-term energy source. Really? At this moment, Lin Rei could no longer remain calm. If that was the case, then it was not impossible to stay here for a few decades. In any case, there was still a long way to go before 100 years. That's right. Others might not be able to do so, but host, you possess the devouring heaven art. You can refine all the energy in the world and fuse it with your body, eventually becoming a part of it. Therefore to others, this place may be a place of evil, but to the host, it is not. It is indeed a rare treasure land. At this point, the system paused, as if it had entered the exploration phase. Heh. I didn't expect that coming here would actually be the right choice. If it wasn't for that old woman, perhaps I would still be wandering around in the outer regions of the divine realm right now. Lin Rei muttered in his heart. Ding dong, if the host enters the ancient corpse vault, then you will be facing the first heaven's human corpse. In this level, the guardian corpse is a human corpse, the smallest existence in the third heaven. The human corpse's strength, according to the divine realm's classification, should be at the mid-ultimate god realm. However, you must be mentally prepared. Although the human corpse's cultivation level is only at the mid-ultimate god realm, it is innately beyond the 6 Tao and not within the 5 elements. Moreover, its body is naturally impenetrable, so, at this point, the system did not ask him to continue because it knew that even if it did not say anything, Lin Rei already knew what it was going to say. In this regard, the system's words made Lin Rei's face turn solemn. He knew how powerful the human corpse was, especially its body of copper skin and iron bones. Ding dong, the second heaven is the earth corpse. According to the divine realm's classification, its cultivation level is at the late ultimate god realm. Its body is much stronger than the human corpse. Ding dong, the third heaven is the heavenly corpse. The heavenly corpse's cultivation level is at the great ultimate god realm. Due to the existence of the ancient corpse vault seal, the heavenly corpse cannot break through to the saint realm in the ancient corpse vault. Moreover, the heavenly corpse's body is many times stronger than the earth corpse's. The heavenly corpse was the strongest existence in the ancient corpse vault. At the same time, the heavenly corpse was also the commander of the entire ancient corpse vault. His name was Lord Zong and he was known as the Lord of the Ancient Corpse Vault. Ding dong, the report is complete. Congratulations to the host for achieving a very good result in the Ancient Corpse Vault. Oh, by the way, I forgot to remind the host that you have 50 years to complete the mission. If you don't complete it within 50 years, you will be poisoned to death by the poison in your body. You still have more than 60 years to complete the mission of subduing the Talisman Grandmaster. Therefore, the host should cherish the remaining time. After saying that, the system disappeared in an instant. Lin Rei stood on the spot in a daze. He was shocked and speechless. F***CK, what do you mean by cherish the remaining time? What does it mean? Isn't it just saying that I don't have much time left? Seriously. Lin Rei felt very helpless towards the system. However, he had to admit that the system was right. He really didn't have much time left. It was time for him to work harder and faster. He couldn't be so slow anymore. Lin Rei recovered as he recalled the system's words. He looked at Xueqi and the others around him. Lin Rei frowned and showed a worried expression on his face. After listening to the system's words, Lin Rei began to worry about Xueqi and Yun Kai's lives after entering the ancient corpse vault. Even he could get into trouble inside. Therefore, he was afraid that something would happen to Xueqi and Yun Kai. At this moment, Xueqi and Yun Kai felt Lin Rei's worried gaze. For a moment, they were stunned and puzzled. Even though they were puzzled, the two of them didn't ask. This was because they could faintly sense a dangerous aura. This dangerous aura came from the ancient corpse vault. Xueqi, Yun Kai, the two of you don't have to enter. This time, I plan to finish this as quickly as possible. I don't plan to take too much time outside. There are still many things waiting for you to do outside. Even though the two of them weren't too surprised when they heard Lin Rei's decision, they still felt that it was a pity. After all, entering the ancient corpse vault was also a form of training. It was also a good place for the two of them to increase their battle experience. However, as subordinates, Xueqi and Yun Kai didn't dare to oppose Lin Rei's decision. Yes, the two of us understand. Young master, don't worry. In the end, the two of them compromised. That's good. Seeing them agree, a smile appeared on Lin Li's face. With a thought, a golden slip appeared. He said to Yun Kai, this is the body transformation technique I promised you before. This cultivation technique is called 9 Heavens and 9 Movements technique. It's a saint-level cultivation technique. It's very powerful. As long as you cultivate 9 Heavens and 9 Movements technique to the extreme, you'll be several times stronger than an ordinary cultivator. Even if a few emperor gods of the same realm as you attack you together, you won't have any trouble. Thank you, young master. Looking at the golden policy in front of her, Yun Kai's heart was in a perilous situation. It was like a huge ravine that was difficult to cross. The excitement in her heart had already filled Yun Kai's entire body. She really didn't expect that Lin Rei would give her a saint-level technique. Even in the god realm, there wasn't a single one of these techniques. Haha, take it. It's useless to me. Sensing the chaotic aura emanating from Yun Kai's heart, Lin Li laughed in his heart. He then stuffed the golden discus into Yun Kai's hands. Then, he ignored the excited Yun Kai and turned to Xueqi. Looking at him, Lin Rei's face became serious. Xueqi, although I didn't give you the body cultivation technique, your mission is more important. You have to break through to the late stage of the zone realm before I come out. As such, I, Lin Rei, won't go back on my word. Do you understand? Yes, young master. At this moment, Xueqi, who knew how difficult this mission was, stood up straight. His heart was filled with determination. As an alchemist, he could only understand the difficulty of breaking through to the Dan realm. Therefore, he was afraid that he wouldn't succeed. However, seeing the approval in Lin Rei's eyes, Xueqi couldn't help but nod. Good, you're ambitious. Seeing Xueqi agree, Lin Li nodded. All right. Let's stop here. If you wish to leave, then leave. After all, this place is filled with all sorts of merfolk. Although your level of cultivation is decent, there are hierarch experts amongst the slumbering people here. You need to wait here safely for me to come out. After saying that, Lin Rei looked at Xueqi again. Without saying anything, he turned around and stepped into the light pillar. Seeing that Lin Rei's figure had disappeared, Xueqi immediately shouted. Xueqi hurriedly shouted towards the light pillar, Young master, don't worry. I will definitely become a late-stage ancestor realm alchemist. I will wait here for your return. Ha! At this moment, Xuefeng, who hadn't moved yet, heard Xueqi's words. She smiled and patted Xueqi's shoulder. Then, she prepared to enter the ancient corpse vault. Bang! A loud sound was heard. The moment Xuefeng's figure was about to enter the ancient corpse vault's light pillar, she was restrained by an invisible energy. The energy was so strong that even Xuefeng was a little helpless. What's going on? Why can't I go in? Not believing it, Xiefeng tried a few more times. However, the situation was the same as the first time. In the end, Xiefeng came to the conclusion that saints couldn't enter this place. Only those below the saint realm, such as Hierarch and Divine Emperor cultivators, could enter. At the side, 8th Bao saw Xiefeng's reaction and laughed. Alright, you don't have to try anymore. Saints can't enter this place. You should wait for us outside. After saying that, 8th Bao lifted his foot and disappeared in a flash. In the next moment, he disappeared into the light pillar. After 8th Bao, it was Jade-faced Rakshasa's turn. Then, it was Jieyang's turn. In the end, even Pai Xiu went in. Other than Xiefeng, everyone else entered the ancient corpse vault. Damn, is this a joke? Looking at the light pillar in front of her, Xiefeng was speechless. However, she was now a little curious. Who on earth created this light pillar? To think that it could block a saint. At this moment, Xueqi, who was behind her, looked at the dazed Xiefeng and stepped forward. Forget it. Senior Xiefeng. Since you can't enter, why don't you come with us and find a place to wait for young master and the others to come out? Wouldn't that be better? Looking at Xueqi, Xiefeng still wanted to say something. However, looking at the light pillar in front of her, she felt that it was unreasonable and nodded. All right, we'll do as you say. At the entrance of the ancient corpse trove, a small black dot suddenly appeared in the light pillar like the infinite boundless mountain skyrocketing light pillar. Then, the black dot slowly grew bigger, and finally, a human figure walked out of the light pillar. Huff huff, suddenly, the moment the figure walked out of the pillar of light, a gust of chilly wind suddenly appeared and rushed over from all directions. Accompanying the chilly wind was a nauseating smell of decay and decay. Feeling the chilly wind and the strange smell accompanying it, the man frowned. At this moment, the person who walked out of the light pillar was none other than Lin Rei, who had just entered from the outside world. Looking around at the sinister, frightening surroundings, with trees growing everywhere and a sinister wind blowing, Linley was instantly stunned. This was the first time he had seen something like this. To be able to grow trees in such a gloomy environment, it was really strange. Don't be surprised and don't worry. After all, this place used to be a paradise, but it became like this later on. Yin and yang intertwined. Therefore, although the chilly wind blows and the sky is full of blood, it doesn't affect the growth of the trees and spiritual herbs. And it is because of this that so many people want to enter this place. At this moment, the system, who understood Lin Rei's thoughts, explained. I see. At this moment, Lin Rei understood. He didn't think that there would be such a strange place. Alright, you can go on your own. I won't bother you. However, I have good news for you. There is a type of Yin flame here. It is an item of extreme Yin, and it can be combined with the illusory spirit blood fire. Who knows, it might be able to improve the illusory spirit blood fire. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei nodded in understanding. I know. Don't worry, I will find a way to find the Yin flame. After saying that, the system stopped speaking. Linley didn't say anything in response. Instead, he looked around at his surroundings. Whoosh, suddenly, the pillar of light twisted, and a pig-type demonic beast swaggered out of the pillar of light. This pig-type demonic beast was none other than the 8 treasures exquisite pig, Baby 8. Haha. Seeing 8th baby walk out of the light pillar, Lin Rei smiled and said, 8th baby, I didn't expect you to be the second one to come in. I thought it would be Xiefeng. Xiefeng? 8th baby, who had just walked out of the light pillar, was speechless when he heard Lin Rei's words. Forget it, you don't have to wait for Xiefeng. This seal is closed to saints, so don't even think about it. Chapter 766. F***CK, are you kidding me? Lin Rei was shocked when he heard 8th baby's words. It was not because Xiefeng could not enter but because the light pillar seal in front of him was able to restrict a sage. How strong must the seal be to be able to do that? Lin Rei looked at the seal boundary in horror as he thought about it. His eyes flashed as he thought about the seal boundary. Lin Rei became excited when he thought about the seal boundary. If he could remove the seal boundary and comprehend it, wouldn't it mean that his formation Dao and talisman Dao would improve further? At this moment, Lin Rei would feel sorry for his previous thoughts if he was not excited. However,
He needed time to comprehend it, and he did not have much time left. Not only did he have to obtain the Corpse King Pill mission, but he also had to become the Sect Master of the Talisman Sect mission. The final mission was yet to come. Entering the Holy World in 1,000 years had been decided a long time ago. A long time had passed and time was running out. Lin Rei suddenly became nervous when he thought about how he had done nothing during this period of time. Lin Rei became nervous and anxious when he thought about the 3 missions that he had to complete. These 3 missions were a race against time and he had to work harder. As for the other mission, although it didn't have a time limit, Linley was still very much looking forward to the slaughtering Azura domain. What's wrong? Is Xiefeng not going to come in? Are you worried about yourself? At this moment, Lin Rei was staring at the light pillar in a daze. At this moment, 8th Baby's first impression of him scared Lin Rei. Then, 8th Baby continued with a look of disdain and mockery. Don't worry, even without Xiefeng, I will still protect you. You should know that my clan is not afraid of any magic arts. Hearing 8th Baobao's words, Linley was speechless. He didn't expect that 8th Baobao would think of him as a coward and useless person just by being there for a short while. However, Lin Rei did not defend himself. After all, there was no need to. Whoosh! Suddenly, another 3 figures appeared. Lin Rei smiled when he saw 2 people and 1 beast walking out of the light pillar. He then said, "All right, Jie Yang, follow me. As for you..." Lin Rei hesitated when he saw the jade-faced Rakshasa. He then continued, "Didn't you say that you came here to look for the Saint artifact? I don't have any interest in that thing, so let's part ways here. You go your way, and I'll go mine. We don't owe each other anything in the future. Moreover, my pig even led you to a portion of the divine crystals. From this point of view, you've made a profit." The jade-faced Rakshasa was stunned when she heard Lin Rei's words. She wanted to say something, but the moment the word left her mouth, it was as if a hand had grabbed her throat. She was so shocked that she was unable to speak. "That's right. Little girl, you should leave. Not to help Lin Rei, but for your safety. You should know that this boy is a natural troublemaker. Wherever he goes, there will be a heaven-shaking battle. So, let's part ways here." The Pai Xiu immediately stood out and advised the jade-faced Rakshasa. Fine." At that moment, Lin Rei's face turned red. He was speechless. He did not expect the Pai Xiu to evaluate him like that. However, when he thought of the benefits he would bring, Lin Rei did not say anything. Sigh. The jade-faced Rakshasa sighed when she saw that the matter was settled. She shook her head helplessly and nodded with a bitter smile. In the end, she said powerlessly, "Fine. Since that's the case, then let's part ways here. I hope that we will meet again in the future." Lin Rei nodded. He did not have a good impression of the jade-faced Rakshasa. However, it was not that he did not have a good impression of her. At the very least, her cultivation had reached the standard of Lin Rei's sect disciples. However, her thoughts were not pure. He would rather miss out on a person like her than to subdue her. But Jie Yang was different. Looking at him, Linley could tell that although he had a powerful cultivation base, he didn't have any worldly experience at all. It was obvious that he was a newcomer, a novice who had just spent money. For someone like him, it was time to properly cultivate him. Moreover, Lin Rei had already tested his cultivation before. He had completely reached the level of subduing him. In addition, Jie Yang had a favor to ask of him. This gave Linley an even greater chance and confidence to take Jie Yang for his own use. Whoosh! After bidding farewell to everyone, the jade-faced Rakshasa circulated her cultivation and instantly disappeared. She turned into a ray of light and flew towards the depths of the ancient corpse burial ground. Tsk Sai. It's a pity that such a person's thoughts are not pure. He can't be used by me? Looking at the back of the jade-faced Rakshasa, Lin Rei felt a sense of regret. However, the feeling of regret disappeared as soon as the jade-faced Rakshasa left. As the saying goes, it came quickly and left quickly. It disappeared in an instant. The moment the jade-faced Rakshasa disappeared, Lin Rei, who originally had a look of regret, recovered his original shrewdness, wisdom and sharpness. All right, let's start moving. It's best if we can find the Corpse King in a short period of time. Then we can defeat him and obtain the Corpse King Dan. That way, our purpose of coming here can be considered accomplished.
At this time, Lin Rei spoke. All right, do as you see fit. After all, we followed you here. At this time, Pai Xiu expressed its stance. Me too. I followed you here. Wherever you go, I will go. Since I have nothing to do, let's just treat it as training. I don't think this place will let me get too close to the Corpse King, Jie Yong said with a face full of interest. Looking at him, Lin Rei smiled and said, Believe me, this place will definitely not let you down. However, I just hope that you won't be frustrated here. Hearing this, Jie Yong smiled and didn't say anything. TSK, you guys, are you still not leaving? Aren't you just going to find the Corpse King to obtain the Corpse King Dan? If you guys are here, when will you be able to find it? At this time, Ba Bao Bao said with a speechless face. Everyone was speechless and then looked at Ba Bao Bao. At this time Lin Rei said, Let's go. Along the way, help me find some treasures. I don't have many alchemy materials left in my ring. Let's see what kind of pills we can refine with the treasures here. Okay, I'll help you find them. Originally, Ba Bao Bao was helpless and impatient. But after hearing that Lin Rei wanted to find alchemy materials, Ba Bao Bao suddenly agreed without hesitation. Heh, time waits for no man. Let's go. Seeing that he had hit Ba Bao Bao's weak spot, Lin Rei chuckled. Suddenly, his smile disappeared and his face turned cold. He said to Ba Bao Bao and then walked into the depths of the cave. Seeing that Lin Rei changed his face faster than flipping a book, Ba Bao Bao felt helpless. But in the end, he didn't say anything and followed closely behind. Hey, this kid. Looking at Lin Rei, Pai Xiu, who was still standing in the same place, laughed and followed. As for Jie Yong, he naturally followed. After all, this time he had his eyes on Lin Rei. Moreover, he wanted to find a way to solve his physical body problem from Lin Rei. In this way, Lin Rei embarked on the journey to find the King Corpse. During this process, it didn't hinder Lin Rei from using Ba Bao Bao to find the treasures here. After all, no one could resist the treasures of heaven and earth. Even Lin Rei, the man with the mysterious system, was no exception. In the depths of the ancient corpse burial ground, there was a beautiful scenery without the slightest qi and evil blood qi. In a valley, a young man wearing a gorgeous brocade robe stood beside a stream with his eyes closed. He had a leisurely look on his face. What joy! He felt very uncomfortable. Swoosh suddenly. At this moment, a young man appeared behind the young man standing beside the stream. He looked at him and smiled. His body and mind relaxed, he said. Master Zong, the prey has entered the net. Do you want to pull the net now? Amen? At this moment, hearing the voice behind him, the young man who was resting opened his eyes. Immediately, a bright light rushed out from his eyes. After hesitating for a moment, he turned around and replied, No need. Let them jump around for a while. After all, it wasn't easy for them to come here. Let them play for a while. After all, if we catch them now, wouldn't it be meaningless for us hunters? That's right. Hearing the young man called Master Zong, the young man nodded as if he understood. At this moment, the one who was called Master Zong was none other than the master of this ancient corpse burial ground, Master Zong of Ancient Wind. He was an expert at the Great Perfection Hierarch realm, and was also the only king corpse in this ancient corpse burial ground who could condense the king corpse Dan. At the same time, Gu Feng had jumped out of the sixth Tao and was not in existence of the five elements. His flesh and blood had reached the level of copper skin and iron bones. With a casual wave of his hand, he could exert a force of 5 million kilograms. With a casual wave of his hand, even a late god emperor would have their soul destroyed and their fleshly body shattered. Looking at the young man in front of him, the corners of Gu Feng's mouth rose slightly, revealing a smile. He said, All right, you brat. After all these years, after becoming the second master, you rarely come to my place. In the past, you were still a little brat who followed behind me, wiping away tears. That time was much better. I still liked the old you. Even though you were weak, you were very cute and fun. Suddenly, the second master was stunned. Following that, he smiled bitterly and awkwardly. Brother Feng, I'm already so old. Let's not talk about the things that happened back then. If my subordinates hear about it, The cold image that I built in front of them will completely collapse. The second chief begged for mercy. You. Looking at his little brother, Gu Feng felt helpless. All right. Okay, you go first. Be careful. Although we are in our own territory, I can feel that a potential threat is slowly approaching. Moreover, this time, even a child with the old bones of the sect will be mobilized. Inform little three to be careful. Remember, if you can't beat them, run. Where there is life, there is hope. Everything should be done with your life as the most important thing. Do you understand? Do you understand? At this moment, Gu Feng's joking expression disappeared. It was replaced with a serious expression, as if something bad was about to happen. When the landlord of the second layer heard Gu Feng's words and heard his elder brother's words, he suddenly felt a sense of oppression. The landlord of the second layer valued Gu Feng's trust very much. Moreover, he also knew that the old bones of the sect would do everything in their power to obtain something that could prolong their life. Therefore, he didn't dare to be careless. After all, if they were careless, death and destruction would be waiting for them. Even though they were already dead, they did not want to be killed again and again. I understand, Brother Feng. Don't worry. I'll personally inform Little Three. I'll definitely pass on your message to him. Just in case, I'll personally pick a few early hierarch subordinates and let them guard the first layer. If there's an accident, I'll let them tie Little Three up and bring him back. The second master said solemnly. All right, that's good. I'm relieved. After all, you're the closest people to me now. I don't want anything to happen to you. Gu Feng looked at the second master and nodded with a smile. All right, I understand. The second landlord gave a simple and honest smile, then nodded and said, Then Brother Feng, I'll go first. I have to hurry and tell Little Three. Hearing this, Gu Feng nodded and replied, All right, you can go. Remember to be careful. In the end, he did not forget to remind the second master again after he left. The second master did not mind nagging and nodded before leaving. Looking at the second master's disappearing figure, Gu Feng's eyes were filled with worry. I hope nothing bad happens. I don't know if my decision is right or wrong. At this moment, at the entrance of the ancient corpse trove, Lin Rei and the others were following Eighth Bao's footsteps. In order to find the treasure, Lin Rei was going all out. At this moment, in the middle of the road, Eighth Bao was walking at a leisurely pace like the second master. It did not seem to be in a hurry at all. I found it. Looking at Eighth Bao's actions, Lin Rei felt helpless. In the end, he could not hold back and was about to urge it when Eighth Bao suddenly spoke. What did you find? Lin Rei asked curiously. Hearing Lin Rei's question, Eighth Bao turned around and said in surprise, 100,000-year-old fire dragon fruit. I don't think I need to tell you. As an alchemist, you should know the use of the fire dragon fruit, right? Fire dragon fruit? Hearing Eighth Bao's words, Lin Rei smiled and nodded. That's right. Lin Li knew about the fire dragon fruit very well. Furthermore, the fire dragon fruit was the main ingredient to concoct a supreme exalted level pill. Fellow Taoist Lin Li, what is this fire dragon fruit? At this moment, a puzzled voice came from behind. Lin Li, who didn't want to waste time talking, immediately began to explain the origin of the fire dragon fruit, its uses, and what kind of pills it could be refined into. Chapter 767. Glancing at the crowd, Lin Rei slowly explained the origin of the fire dragon fruit. The fire dragon fruit is a supreme-level heavenly treasure. If you eat it raw without refining it into a pill, although you can increase your cultivation and refine your body, you can only absorb 20% of the fire dragon fruit's medicinal properties. But, as he spoke, Lin Li's gaze swept over Jie Yang. The corners of his mouth curled into a smile and he continued, but, if the fire dragon fruit is refined into a top-quality exalted-level medicinal pellet, then even if the fire dragon fruit cannot be said to be 100%, it would at least be around 85%. As for the fire dragon fruit, I heard that it was stained with dragon's blood. Its effect is just like dragon's blood. It can refine the body and at the same time, it can increase one's cultivation. This kind of increase does not have any side effects. Normally, this kind of fire dragon fruit is very rare. This is also my first time seeing it. This is the first time. Thinking about this kind of heavenly treasure, it can be said to be priceless in the market. Therefore, this fire dragon fruit is very precious. Moreover, on a fire dragon fruit tree, only one fire dragon fruit can grow. The moment the ripe fire dragon fruit tree is plucked, the energy on the fire dragon fruit tree will be instantly absorbed by the fire dragon fruit tree. As a result, the fire dragon fruit tree will wither and die. Oh! Hearing Lin Rei's explanation, the crowd nodded their heads. At this moment, when he heard Lin Rei's explanation of the fire dragon fruit's effects, Jie Yang's eyes lit up and a surprised expression flashed past. Pai Xiao and the others did not notice the surprise in Jie Yang's eyes. However, Lin Rei had seen it all the time. Moreover, Lin Rei's explanation just now, especially when he explained that the fire dragon fruit could refine the body, he had already attracted all of Jie Yang's attention. And this was the result that Lin Rei had been waiting for. It was also the result that he had expected. All right, stop showing off. Hurry up and put away the fire dragon fruit. Looking at its posture, this fire dragon fruit has already grown to its limit. If you put it away, it will wither completely before long and then die. The fire dragon fruit will also wither. At this moment, Ba Bao saw the proud smile on Lin Rei's face and hurriedly said. Hearing eighth baby's words, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment. Then, he awkwardly smiled and stretched out his hand. Immediately, he used his spiritual energy to form a hand and directly reached out to pluck the fire dragon fruit from the tree. The moment the fire dragon fruit was plucked, a box with a dragon pattern appeared in Lin Rei's hand. Then, he opened the box and the fire dragon fruit was placed into the purple box by Lin Rei. Holy *T. Not bad. It's a purple spirit jade. At the side, Eighth Bao was shocked, and his eyes were filled with surprise. That's right, it's a purple spirit jade. Linley didn't doubt Eighth Baby's ability to appraise treasures at all. Although it had been a little strange in the past, after experiencing the supreme grade divine crystal, Linley had absolute faith in Eighth Baby and had absolute trust in it. Tisk. TSK. This thing is not simple. According to my inherited memories, this purple spirit jade is a natural product of the holy world. Moreover, its production is very limited. It can only be found at the peak of a measurable mountain. It doesn't exist anywhere else. I never thought that a little guy from the god world like you would have something like this. I'm starting to suspect that you're the son of Tao. Otherwise, why would something like this appear in your hands? Eighth Bao smacked his lips. Lin Rei. Ignoring Eighth Bao's words, Lin Rei did not reply. Instead, he placed the sealed fire dragon fruit into the system. Phew! He let out a long sigh. Then, he smiled and felt much more relaxed. I've just entered this place and I'm already able to encounter the fire dragon fruit. If I continue walking, then... Thinking of this, Lin Rei felt a little excited. After all, he knew how precious the fire dragon fruit was. Everyone was speechless at Lin Rei's words. However, they did not agree with Lin Rei's thoughts. In fact, they also had the same thoughts. Among the crowd, there was one person who was an exception. The exception was none other than Jie Yang. When he found out that the fire dragon fruit had the effect of tempering one's body, Jie Yang placed all his attention on Linley. His purpose in coming here this time was to break through the shackles of his own body and enter the late stage of the deity level that he had been dreaming of for a long time. He even wanted to transcend the world and become a saint. Strength was the right way. This had existed since the beginning of time. The great god Pangu had used strength to achieve the right way. Although he failed in the end, at least there was a precedent. All right, let's go. Feeling the strange gazes of the crowd, Lin Rei was stunned. Then, he said and continued walking towards the depths of the ancient corpse trove. Regarding this, Amon did not have any complaints. She followed Lin Rei's footsteps and drifted away. At this time, in a palace in the first layer of the ancient corpse trove, a red-haired young man was sitting on the main seat. Looking at the appetite in front of him, the young man's face was filled with excitement. TSK, I finally made the mistake of eating a human. It's really not easy. In this place, other than the rotten corpses, there are only those tasteless natural treasures. Talking about the appetite in front of him, the young man's smile became wider. Haha, you little brat. You're always the most excited until now. Just when the young man was about to start eating, a magnetic voice came from outside the door. In the blink of an eye,
The voice came before the person. Hearing the sudden voice, the smile on the red-haired young man's face became wider. Then, he raised his head and looked at the entrance of the main hall with anticipation. After a few breaths, a young man in luxurious clothes appeared at the entrance. He had a teasing look on his face as he looked at the young man sitting on the main seat in the main hall. Looking at him, the young man standing at the entrance said, "Xiao-san, look at you. You're a mid-ultimate god human corpse. You're always thinking about eating, drinking, playing and having fun every day. Can't you be more serious?" At this moment, the one who spoke was none other than the second layer master of the ancient corpse trove, Earth Corpse.
He was also the one who had just left from Gu Feng's place.
The red-haired young man sitting at the head of the table was none other than the heavenly lord of the first heaven of the ancient corpse burial ground.
He was a mid-ultimate god expert, a human corpse. If this happened in the divine world, any one of the masters of the ancient corpse trove could form a first-grade sect.
Second brother.
Looking at the earth corpse at the entrance, the human corpse nodded in grievance. Then, he stood up and took a step forward. In an instant, his figure disappeared on the spot. When he reappeared, he was already in front of the earth corpse.
"You!"
Looking at his younger brother, the earth corpse recalled the heavenly corpse's warning before coming here. He could not help but worry for a moment. Being able to make the heavenly corpse feel fear made them take it seriously. What's wrong? At this moment, the human corpse felt the worry and concern in the earth corpse's eyes. He immediately noticed that something was wrong with the earth corpse.
Sigh.
Looking at the human corpse, the earth corpse did not hide anything and immediately said, "It's like this. Brother Feng asked me to tell you to be careful during this period of time."
Brother Feng said he sensed a dangerous aura, so...
Brother Feng is thinking too much. The ignorant earth corpse said indifferently after he finished speaking. "Second brother, why don't you think about it? We are the dominators of this ancient corpse trove. Moreover, how can the people from the other sects be my opponent? You should know that I have a body of iron and copper skin. My cultivation has reached the peak intermediate ultimate god realm. As long as I find an opportunity, I can completely break through to the late ultimate god realm."
"Don't worry,"
the human corpse said confidently while patting his chest. However, he didn't know that his blind confidence was often a fatal beginning, and what awaited him next was death. On the other hand, when the earth corpse saw how confident his younger brother was, he was momentarily speechless. He understood the human corpse very well. He knew that no matter how much he said at this moment, it would be of no use. The human corpse would not listen. Earth Zombie gave up trying to dissuade him. "Well, if that's the case, you can eat. I'll send a few early-stage ultimate god subordinates to help you. I can only hope that Brother Feng's premonition is wrong, otherwise..." At this moment, the earth corpses began to pray. Even though they might have to live in this ancient corpse trove for the rest of their lives, they deeply understood that there would always be someone stronger and a sky beyond a sky. Even though they could reign supreme in this ancient corpse trove, it did not mean that they could rule over the entire divine realm. He wanted to reject the earth corpse's words, but in the end, he did not open his mouth because he understood that as long as he rejected, the following matters would become more and more troublesome. The earth corpse might even set up camp here and not leave. Therefore the human corpse chose to agree in the end. "All right, in that case, second brother, do as you see fit."
"I will do as you say." That's right."
The earth corpse smiled and nodded when he saw the human corpse's agreement. He then turned around and walked outside. When he reached the door, the earth corpse suddenly stopped and reminded again. "Remember, be careful during this period of time. Brother Feng also said not to attack them first. After all, it's not fun for a hunter to lose his prey." The earth corpse completely disappeared after he finished speaking. The human corpse's face showed a hint of relief when he saw the earth corpse had completely left.
"Sigh.
What's there to worry about? We are the masters of this place. Do you think that group of outsiders can overturn the heavens?" The human corpse muttered while looking at the door. At a place very far away from the palace, Lin Rei and his group were moving forward at a very slow speed. The eighth treasure who was walking in front had a leisurely look on his face. It was a little slow and its walking posture was very demonic. During this period of time, Lin Rei had already found a lot of heavenly treasures with the help of the eighth treasure. Among them were the fire dragon fruit, mysterious yellow water, heavenly spirit iron,
and 100,000-years-old stalactite stalagmite. Every one of them was enough to make the people of the divine world go crazy. You who are following behind us, do you want to come out yourself or do you want me to drag you out? At this moment, just as Linley and the others were about to move forward, Linley frowned and his expression darkened. He stopped and coldly looked at a tree not far behind him. It was so thick that it would take 3 people to wrap their arms around it. Linley's body was abnormally cold and filled with killing intent. At this moment, the people who did not notice Lin Ray stopping stopped when they heard Lin Ray's words. They turned around hesitantly and looked in the direction that Lin Ray was looking at. In the distance, in the forest before, they didn't find any hope. At this moment, the Pai Xiao, Ba Bao Bao, Jie Yang and the others all released their divine senses at the first moment. However, they discovered nothing. At this moment, everyone couldn't help but look at Lin Ray. They were a little suspicious that Lin Ray was a little too nervous. Still not coming out? Feeling the strange gazes from the Pai Xiao and the others, Lin Ray frowned and resolutely looked in front of him. His voice was even colder. Clang! Suddenly, the primal chaos dragon spear appeared in Lin Ray's hand and a shocking aura rushed out of his body. Oh woo! Suddenly, 9 azure dragons rushed out of the primal chaos dragon spear when Lin Ray circulated his cultivation and channeled his spiritual energy into the primal chaos dragon spear. 9 azure dragons instantly rushed out of the primal chaos dragon spear and floated in the air above Lin Ray. At this moment, dragon might shook the heavens. Each dragon was 1,000 zhang long and gave people a very intimidating feeling. Hiss! At this moment, everyone standing beside Lin Ray was shocked. However, the Pai Xiao was still fine as he had seen it before. However, the 8th treasure and Jie Yang were different as they had never seen them before. Furthermore, they were able to sense a heaven-shaking dragon's might from the 9 azure dragons. This dragon's might seemed to have originated from the Great Desolate Era, causing their souls to be suppressed. Heh! It seems like you guys don't plan to come out obediently. Since that's the case, then come out. Linley did not have the chance to look at 8 treasures and the others. Looking at the huge tree in front of him, Linley did not remain silent or waste any more words. With a flick of his hand, 9 azure dragons instantly charged out towards the huge tree that Linley had locked onto. What? We've been discovered? At this moment, the 2 old men hiding in the giant tree felt a strong threat from the 9 azure dragons. For a moment, their faces changed and they knew that they had been exposed and it was not a trick. Asterisk swoosh. Swoosh. Asterisk at this moment, the 2 old men did not want to waste any more time. They knew very well that as long as they were attacked by the 9 azure dragons, even if they didn't die, they would lose a layer of skin. At this moment, the 2 old men no longer hesitated. Instantly, they circulated their cultivation and fled in 2 different directions. Damn, there's really someone here? At this moment, 8th treasure and the others felt 2 terrifying auras. Their faces suddenly changed. Then, 2 figures appeared in front of everyone's eyes. However, when they saw the 2 figures, everyone was stunned. Because they did not expect that the 2 people who were hiding and tailing them were the 2 old men.
Chapter 768. Looking at the 2 people who had appeared, Linley's face grew even gloomier.
He opened his mouth and asked, "The 2 of you, may I ask why you followed us? We've never offended the 2 of you.
In fact, we've never even seen you before, right?"
Lin Ray was very sure that he had never seen the 2 old men in front of him before. Even if he had lost his memories in the past, he had never felt the slightest sense of familiarity from the 2 in front of him. Therefore, Lin Ray was certain that he did not know the 2 in front of him. Furthermore, just by looking at the 2 old men's actions and the aura of cultivation he felt from their bodies, Lin Ray could determine that their cultivation was at least at the middle stage hierarch realm.
Hearing Lin Ray's questioning, Jie Yang and the others looked at the 2 old men with doubtful eyes.
Their eyes were cold and vigilant because they felt a trace of dangerous aura from the 2 old men. At this moment, the 2 old men who were barely dodging the attacks of the 9 azure dragons each stood on one side. Hearing Lin Ray's questioning and seeing the hesitant eyes of the others, the old men's expression turned cold and their eyes were filled with astonishment. They had investigated Linley's shocking cultivation before, yet they had never thought that a late-stage god-emperor brat would be able to find out where they were. Looking at Chen Dan, the old man who was wearing a fiery red gown had a pale complexion. There was no blood flowing in his body at all. His body gave off a feeling of death as if he was a person on the verge of death. If not for the fact that he was still standing there and speaking in human language, everyone would have thought that he was a dead man. "Brat, it seems that you are not as simple as you seem on the surface," Hongyi said. "Old brat, why are you wasting your breath on them? Why don't you just capture them?" At this moment, the old man who was walking together with the red-robed old man saw him dilly-dallying. For a moment, his temper erupted. He did not care about anything else and directly waved his hand. A bright light instantly shot out from his hand and rushed towards Lin Rei's direction. Pong! A thunderous sound rang out, and in the instant that a ray of light appeared in the air above Linley, more than 10 small golden flags appeared as well. Then they spread out at lightning speed and landed on the ground. In the next moment, they were all wiped out from the ground. Yin Yang Reversal, Yang Extreme Lock, Yin Extreme Seal, Yin Yang Extreme Seal, Yin Yang Sealing Array, Lock. The black-clothed man pressed his hands down and quickly formed a seal. Beams of light instantly rushed out from the flags that were erased from the ground and shot into the air. In the end, more than a dozen beams of light intertwined together and formed a shield-like existence. Is it a formation? Lin Rei's heart skipped a beat when he sensed the energy fluctuations around him, as well as the small flag that he had just erased from the ground. A mocking smile appeared on his face. "Sigh. I didn't expect that someone would dare to use a formation on me. TSK, if Xiefeng knew about this, she would probably be laughing her head off." Lin Rei said to himself with a smile as he looked at the barrier around him. Lin Rei was not in a hurry to break the formation in front of him. The moment the barrier appeared, Lin Rei had already seen that this formation was just a complete late-stage ancestor-level formation. With his own attainments in formations, breaking it would be a piece of cake. However, Lin Rei was very curious about the two old men in front of him. He was very curious about why the two of them wanted to follow him. However, although Lin Rei was not in a hurry, Jie Yang, who was beside him, was very anxious. Moreover, there was also the 8 babies. At this moment, they were very anxious. The power of a formation was very powerful. Although the 8 babies were immune to magic, the formation did not seem to be under the category of magic. Although it was also driven by spiritual qi, its trajectory was completely different from that of a dharma spell. Therefore, the formation was simply a natural cage for the 8 babies. Of course, although the 8 treasures' exquisite boar clan was powerful, it was because of their strong physical bodies. Ordinary formations would not be able to harm them. However, the current 8 babies was only an Emperor God realm cultivator. Their bodies were not very strong. Therefore they were also afraid. On the other hand, the Pai Xiu was very calm about the situation in front of him. There was not the slightest bit of panic, let alone fear. It was not for any other reason. It was because it understood Lin Rei very well. Moreover, it understood Lin Rei's abilities even more. It knew that Lin Rei was an expert in formations. Therefore it was not afraid. Moreover, the most important thing was that it did not see a trace of fear on Lin Rei's face. Therefore, it concluded that the formation was useless. Looking at Jie Yang and the 8 babies, Lin Rei smiled. Then, he turned his head to look at the 2 people in red and black. Looking at them, Lin Rei revealed an expression of fear and his body started to tremble. With a trembling voice and a pale face, he asked, "This 2 seniors, may I know why the 2 of you are looking for this lowly one? I have never seen the 2 of you before." At that moment, Lin Rei's performance could be said to be extremely good. There was a saying that the Oscar Golden Man was specially created for Lin Rei. At that moment, he was truly acting like a pig to eat a tiger. His performance was simply too amazing. Amen? Seeing the sudden change in Lin Rei's attitude, the red-clothed old man frowned. A trace of confusion appeared on his face. At that moment, he discovered that he was feeling a little impatient. It was a feeling that he had never felt before. However, he was unable to pinpoint what was wrong with that feeling. However, the black-clothed old man was not like the red-clothed old man. He looked at the red-clothed old man and did not say anything. The black-clothed old man said to Lin Rei, "Boy, don't blame us. After all, killing and robbing is the law of this world. The law of the jungle and the survival of the fittest is the law of this world. The survival of the fittest is the law of this world. Earlier, the 2 of you obtained a fruit and a lot of pretty good heavenly treasures.
As long as you hand them over, I guarantee that I will give you a quick death. How about it? I will absolutely not let you suffer the slightest bit of pain. Tell me how about it, so it's like that. Hearing the words of the black-robed elder, Linley understood. So these two had seen the fiery dragon fruit he had found earlier, as well as some other natural treasures, and had wanted to kill him for them. Looking at them, Lin Rei was speechless. F***CK, they're already half dead. Moreover, they're experts above the mid-stage ultimate god realm. Yet, they're willing to put down their status to be the backline of robbers. Lin Rei felt helpless about this. At the same time, Lin Rei was even more annoyed by their actions. Lin Rei did not have any objections to robbing, but he would not allow anyone to put their attention on him. Looking at them, Linley continued to ask, "Seniors, I don't know who you are. I'm about to die. You have to let me know why I'm going to die, don't you?" At that moment, Lin Rei was still the same as before. He had an aggrieved and bitter smile on his face as he spoke to the two seniors. He did not look like he was acting at all. In Lin Rei's eyes, there was 100% fear, shock, and various other emotions. It was very complicated. "Oh, that's easy." The black-clothed old man did not refuse Lin Rei's request because he was very confident in his cultivation. "So, listen up, the ancestor is known as the Formation Deity. He's a perfected middle-stage Grandmaster Formation Master from the Formation Sect. Later generations call him the Formation Deity, Zhan Tianyun." At that moment, Zhan Tianyun's face was filled with arrogance as if what he said was amazing. On the other hand, after listening to Zhan Tianyun's introduction, he smiled and said, "The ancestor is the Rain Sect's ancestor. His name is Yu Chen." Formation Deity? Yu Chen? Formation Sect? Rain Sect? Lin Rei was delighted when he heard them introduce themselves. He sneered in his heart. "Humph, I thought it was some sect. So it's those two sects." Muttering and looking at them, Lin Rei's face was no longer filled with fear. At that moment, Lin Rei's face was filled with mockery, disdain, and mockery. The two ancestors of the Rain Sect and the Array Sect had been paying attention to Linley the entire time. When they saw the fear on Linley's face suddenly disappear and was replaced by mockery, the laughter in their hearts slowly faded away. What replaced it was a sense of unease that made their hearts uneasy. "You owe me? What about me?" Looking at Zhan Tianyun, Lin Rei chuckled. An aura that looked down on the world instantly rose and an invincible aura rushed out of his body. "This brat, why does he give me such a dangerous feeling? Could it be that he was pretending before?" Yu Chen was already guessing in his heart. Sigh. Looking at them, Lin Rei sighed and shook his head. His face was filled with regret. "You." At that moment, the sense of uneasiness grew stronger and stronger. At that moment, they knew that they had been tricked by Lin Rei. "Formation God? Heh. You really dare to accept it. You're just a little ancestor-level formation master. You call yourself a god. You're really short-sighted." After saying that, Lin Rei did not waste any more words. He already knew all the information he wanted to know. Next, there was no need for him to keep the formation that enveloped him. With that thought, Lin Rei circulated his cultivation. A terrifying rune appeared in Lin Rei's hand. "Rune. You're from the Talisman Sect?" They knew about runes. After all, the old ancestor of the Talisman Sect was from their generation. Looking at the rune in Lin Rei's hand, Zhan Tianyun was shocked. His face turned extremely ugly. It was as if his child had died. His face was extremely ugly. At the side, Yu Tianyun looked at the rune in Lin Rei's hand. An ominous premonition instantly surged in his heart. At that moment, his firm Dao heart was shaken the moment he saw the rune in Lin Rei's hand. He suddenly had the thought of retreating and running away. Linley didn't have a chance to kill Tianyun and Tianyun. He looked at the barrier around them and snorted disdainfully. Then, with a wave of his hand, the rune instantly left his hand and fused into the formation at lightning speed. Bang! A loud sound rang out. The barrier that was originally enveloping them, after the loud sound, instantly shattered. Whoosh! Suddenly, the moment the formation shattered, a dozen pillars of light shot out from the ground. They wanted to escape towards their master. Unfortunately, how could Lin Rei give up on such a treasure? Although he had no use for it, the sect behind him definitely had a use for it. As the saying goes, it would be a waste not to take it. Furthermore, it was an item that wanted to kill him. Lin Rei had no qualms about taking it. Come back. Looking at the dozen pillars of light that were rushing towards Zhan Tianyun, Lin Rei stretched out his hand. A hand formed by mental energy instantly appeared in front of the pillars of light. Then, without saying anything, he directly reached out and grabbed the pillars of light, not allowing them to escape. You! In the distance, Zhan Tianyun saw his formation flags being forcibly taken away by Lin Rei. For a moment, Zhan Tianyun's aura surged. He coughed out a mouthful of blood and his face turned pale. The formation flags and the light pillars were divine weapons that he had used his blood to nurture for more than 10,000 years. They had an indelible connection with Zhan Tianyun. If he wanted to forcefully erase the imprint left by Zhan Tianyun on the formation flags, Zhan Tianyun's vitality would be greatly damaged in the end. Pooh! He coughed out another 2 mouthfuls of blood. His body, which was standing proudly in the air, began to tremble. His heart was filled with helplessness. When he saw Lin Rei's means just now, he knew that the person in front of him was not simple. Moreover, it was very likely that he was a Grandmaster Talisman Master. At this moment, Zhan Tianyun laughed bitterly in his heart. He laughed bitterly that he had not seen through Lin Rei before. At the same time, he laughed bitterly and helplessly. He had not appeared for a long time. He did not expect that in today's world, their era had long passed. The current era was the era of the strong. Being able to become a late god emperor at such a young age and a talisman master was a blow to his heart. Hee. Lin Rei was not afraid of Zhan Tianyun coughing out blood. At this moment, he withdrew his hand and a dozen formation flags appeared in his hand. Looking at them, Lin Rei smiled. TSK. Formation flags that have been nurtured for more than 10,000 years. These are much stronger than supreme-grade divine weapons. The more he thought about it, the more Lin Rei felt that he could not bear to part with them. Even if he was a blacksmith, he would not be able to create such a good thing. Good boy, this thing, you've struck gold this time. Just as Lin Rei was holding the formation flags tightly, an envious voice came from behind him. Hee. Lin Rei turned his head and looked at 8 treasures. His face was filled with joy. He smiled and said, yes, even I cannot refine this thing. Well, I have a disciple who has inherited my legacy of formations. I was worried about what to bring back for him this time. Now, with these formation flags, I don't have to worry anymore. Pooh. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Zhan Tianyun coughed out another mouthful of blood. His heart was filled with endless regret. If he had known this would happen, even if he was beaten to death, he would not have come. However, it was a pity that there was no such thing as regret in this world. Otherwise, Zhan Tianyun would have the urge to buy a dozen kilograms. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.